You have the cat cam?
Cat cam on my lap. It's a lap cap.
The cat
Lap
the
cam.
cat lap
Oh
cam?
no, we just the game just went live, or the stream just went live. One, the game's not showing. Two, all they heard is I have lap cam. Oh,
Yes. This
it's
is
not
Dusty
that.
After Dark.
It is not. Oh my god, that was not the way
Okay.
that was supposed to sound. Let's see, where's Love, Money, Rock and Roll? Really, that
I
was
mean,
not
this
the.
works out because we can chat with the chat and you can
There we go. I
there it
got
is.
it.
I can see it. I see it. I see it. Yeah, it's
Everything's
fine.
here. That's and Corey's here. He's been the first 3
Oh,
times to my streams since we set
bon
up that
matin,
thing.
monsieur. Run until you fly.
He's up way too early.
Cours, cours
Is
jusqu'à temps que
everybody
tu
ready
voles.
for daylight savings time tomorrow?
Oh, is that tomorrow?
It's to.
Well, actually, oh no, we lose an hour. Blah. Hype train.
Wait, what? Hype. Okay, I'm gonna hype train it. I gotta do 3 beans. Yeah,
TJ's here too.
I know.
Hi, good morning.
I'm grabbing
Bon
a bean
matin, les
for her
jolis.
too. But yeah, thank you for the early morning hype train. But yes, tomorrow is that. Okay, so this is going to ruin everything. This is a pickle, which you can't see.
And French for pickle is cornichon.
This is a chocolate donut.
Although in Quebec, sometimes they call it a picule.
And I'm not sure what this is, but it's scary because it's called speckly. Okay, it was way early for TJ. She's in New Mexico.
Really? Oh, good morning. Actually, sometime in the near future, I wouldn't be surprised if TJ would love to have a game of Across the Obelisk with you and me.
But oh,
By
this
the
is
way, did you get it working with Rob as well, so the four of us could play, or 7 a.m.? That's not so bad. It's 9 a.m. here in igloo number 3.
the grossest donut in history.
Donut and ooh.
It's a chocolate donut and pickle. And the third thing, I can't identify, but it's awful. But thank
Ooh.
you for the.
I'm trying to figure out the right way to address. Is it brain pan chicken, or just chicken, or brain pan, or BPC? What's your preference, monsieur, madame?
Sorry, I didn't greet you right away. Oh, he probably can't hear me. We're in ads. Oh, you snooze the ads.
Just started.
Because Brain Pan
No,
doesn't.
oh, sorry. Snooze.
No, some. Wonder why they were snads. They started against snooze. I didn't snooze them, but anyway, that's a
I
problem.
didn't do it.
I didn't touch it.
Unless he brain
Brain
pan.
Pan.
Okay.
That's usually what I call Brain Pan. Morning, Brain
Okay.
Pan.
Good to
Because
know.
Brain Pan doesn't have a sub, so once the ads start in 3 minutes,
I wonder
oh
why they
god,
snoozed.
why does pickle and your peppermint patty make mouthwash every time in my mouth? Not the good
Blah,
kind of
blah, blah, blah,
mouthwash.
blah, 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 blah. I say to you, blah blah blah.
Cinder's actually worried. Oh, thank you for the phone, me Vader.
Mommy Vader? I love it, the name. Yes,
I do
please.
too. All right.
You cosplay.
I thought you were already following too. I wasn't gonna point that out. But I'm gonna thank you for it now. Yes, this
So
is one
while
of
we're in
this
ad
is one of the
breaks,
people I talk to.
everybody.
We're not in ad
While we're in ad
breaks. It
breaks,
says
everyone.
ad says 2 minutes. We're not in ads.
We're in ad breaks. I say so.
It's
Everybody
not...
hydrate.
Okay, we're gonna hydrate. Brain does have a sub. I didn't see. Oh yeah, Brain does have a sub. Can you trigger the ads now so we can get them out of the way?
Absolutely. 1 second, please. Here we go.
I don't know
So
how
every
they
3
got
minutes.
snoozed.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's the magic of Twitch. All right, in 3, 2, 1. We'll see you guys in 3 minutes. Click.
Well, I think most of the people except Mommy Vader. I'll type to Mommy Vader. Ads are 3 minutes. Be back. Okay. Because we just messed up the ad things. But anyway, for those of you that are not in the sub, this is Cinder on my lap. I think all of you know that are subbed. Look at that little face. We're gonna give the little face.
There,
Oh,
TJ
thank
fixed it.
you, TJ. You fixed it. But you just opened your Minecraft to start again? I believe in you. I actually played Minecraft twice this week, which is more than I've done in months. So,
I just moved my mic. How do I sound? Is it okay?
you sound wonderful. You look wonderful, Mr. Goose. I thought you were going people today, but I guess you're going Goose, and Goose works fine.
I forgot.
That's okay. Well, let's see. You weren't here for the last story time, so you don't know what's going on.
I do not.
Okay.
I'm
He finally realized Catherine's not good for him. He still yearns a little bit for him, but finally do it. You're a new player to it? Well, if you ever have questions for Minecraft, we actually have a whole thread and Discord SMP. So go into the Discord and it'll give you any information. People will
what?
talk to you about Minecraft.
He
But
figured out that she's so toxic that she should be left alone. Amazing.
yeah, but he still yearns to her. So and she calls him
Well,
once in a
yeah,
while. So and
yeah, because she can't figure out what the hell she wants either.
yeah. So it that part there is a little bit yeah.
It's like that's people.
There's
That's
the
humans.
Discord if you need it. So he's decided that he loves Himutsu, but Himutsu's dad turns out to be a spy for the Japanese government who's been spying on the family this entire time, and he asked her
Now
to
he's wondering what's her
he
connection. I
well
get it.
he no her dad asked her to spy on him,
Yeah.
and for 3 days she tried to, and then she finally came clean.
Okay, so she didn't. Okay, but he doesn't know for sure that she's.
He's believing
He
her
does.
that she did that they were just friends that the father was more focused on his parents before they died suspiciously.
Mm.
So we now know that the dad across the street is a spy. We know the Russians are spies. The Russians picked him up again, and they said that if he they can protect him and Himitsu if he does spying for them. So he's been asked to spy on Himitsu's dad. Because the Russians are still trying to figure out what the corporation was doing and why was his parents killed. I think you're caught up now. This thing just
Okay.
got more and more, I don't know.
Convoluted.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. So, but anyway, the community's
Like
back.
a
Hi,
rom com.
community. Well, I love this because I went into this thing as just going to be a three-way love triangle type show. No, it's spies and murder and mystery and love on top of that.
Murder
But
mysteries are good.
I know we still don't know what the corporation was making and why the parents were killed. The class president he likes to talk to on the roof, her father was kidnapped by the corporation because he was about to tell what they were working on.
Oh,
So she asked for help to get him back. You know, our character's an asshole. He said no.
really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I
This
mean, this guy's how old?
16, 17, maybe 18, somewhere
So
around there.
a 17-year-old with no connections to anything. Okay, I mean, it's
It
not
makes
completely
it yeah, but we all know that Nikolai, the character that I'm about to read, he has not made good decisions. He's not a good person, but he actually talked to some people and he's trying to work on being a better man. So,
Hmm.
we'll see if that continues. But
Thank you,
anyway,
Dustiria bot, for telling us that Dusty's alive. 10 minutes late.
oh, it did?
Yeah, I just got the notice.
Oh no, that's me. That's not the Stereobot. The
Oh,
notice in Discord, I'm supposed to, one of my
yeah.
mods has to publish that every time we start,
Ah,
but I don't have a mod in Discord that was paying attention to it, so I went, oh, I better go do that. So you can yell at me for being late. But anyway, I
I just
returned,
did.
but I'm not the bot. And I was excited this morning.
Both.
I found my cute top matches my men's coat that I love, so I can be warm and cute at the same time.
Look at the Cinder. We
Yeah,
need Cinder rolls in chat for that. Look at the cute Cinder.
you can't hear him, but he's purring up a storm. It's weird because my hand's getting vibrations.
Hmm.
But anyway, I'm just make his head move. Hi everyone, I'm Cinder. Okay, now I'm gonna start reading. We're here for a story, right?
No, we need Cinder rolls.
Need Cinderella. I can do one. Um,
I can too.
there. I did one. I returned home a bit earlier than expected, before dinner, and thus had time before Himitsu's arrival. That conversation with Irina on the waterfront left a bad aftertaste. She made me an offer I quite literally couldn't refuse. Irina is the Russian spy. Oh,
Hmm.
that, he had to make a deal with. I wasn't even worried about myself, as I couldn't get worse for me anyway, except maybe that I'd just taken a few more steps towards a miserable end. Why did I even ask about Himitsu? Because that one thing that shocked himself when he asked if you have to get me out for safety, can you bring her? Was he's starting to realize how deeply he feels for her. They could use her. They could have done so before too, probably, but for whatever reason decided not to. The front door opened with the same sound as usual. It wasn't slow or fast, the way she alone could. Well, I would regularly slam it without meaning to, just paying no attention.
Nikko-kun?
Yusa called from the hall. I'm here. Oh, she doesn't look happy. She entered the kitchen, gave me a somewhat detached look, and started taking groceries out of the bag. How are you?
Fine.
Yusa replied briefly, her attention focused on cooking. I mean, how's everything with... For the life of me, I couldn't recall what she was going to do after class. With this...
School festival.
Oh, I forgot. There's also a school festival he's supposed to be working on, and he's done nothing. Yeah, right. School festival. How's it going?
Fine.
She replied in the same dry tone. It was weird. She didn't seem to be particularly upset in the afternoon. You won't even ask me how my day went?
Is there a point? Oh, she sounds angry.
I don't know. You usually ask.
And you usually don't reply or come up with excuses. Ouch. Oh, talking about calling him out.
Not wrong. I had no retort, and I wasn't ready to tell her about Irina's offer. He needs to tell her.
Would you say I'm wrong?
Well, I wouldn't be so harsh.
What else do you expect, Nikko-kun?
Just stopped peeling potatoes and finally looked at me.
You accuse me of something I didn't even do, but you hide things all the time yourself. You lied to me.
Despite the contents of her word, her tone was relatively calm. I was mostly hurt by the fact that Mitsu had never accused me of telling lies directly before. At least like
hurt?
this. He shouldn't be hurt. He should realize he hurt her. That's what I mean. He's not a good guy. I don't lie to you. I'm not accusing you of anything. Well, that's just a lie right there.
Yeah, right.
She sarcastically flung her arms up in the air and returned to peeling potatoes, cutting a solid half of a tuber with each motion.
Are you really trying to see me or just pitying me?
We used to switch from Russian to Japanese, something that didn't happen to her often when we were alone.
Do you think it's easy for me? Do you think I asked for my father to put me in a situation like this? And now it turns out that you don't trust me. And you even have and you even seem to have reasons for that. Nikko-kun, think about my feelings. You're accusing me of something that isn't even my fault. Not out loud, maybe, but you think it. I didn't want things to turn out like this, and I can't fix them. Do you understand?
I was expecting her to start crying, but she continued in a firm and confident tone. That means she's been thinking about this for a while.
Tell me honestly, what's going on?
Come on, Nikolai, tell her. What do you mean? I asked, surprised.
You know what? I know you've been hiding something from me. I know that in different circumstances you wouldn't have told me anything at all. Nikko-kun, I'm not a little girl anymore. You don't need to protect me. I love you and I want to be with you in happiness and sorrow.
See, this is the one that he should be with. There could be no doubt that she was speaking sincerely, and I felt pained and disgusted by the fact that I hadn't told her about the meeting with Irina and many other things. But on the other hand, I just couldn't. You can! I'm gonna slap the main character again. I physically wasn't able to. My mouth wouldn't let me do it. All the words were getting stuck in my throat. Yep, it's time for the cinder bonk emote.
I did the whipping.
I heard the whipping. But it's time for this. We started doing that. Whenever we got angry with the main character, we just bonked in chat. We bonked a lot. Maybe I was really too protective of Himitsu, but it was all for our own good. No, it's not. Truth, truth, truth. Uh-oh. Am I losing my cat?
That's a rough excuse.
Yeah.
That's a rough excuse.
It's an excuse nonetheless. If you truly love someone,
well,
truth is important.
Well, no. The point is, when you do something for someone's own good, you're you're lying to yourself half the time. But that's, I
Yeah.
mean, kids don't know any better. Kids don't know any better, right?
No, they don't.
I'm not defending him. I'm just saying
No,
is
I get you. At this age,
is what
you don't really know. You're learning, and he's never had to deal with spies and murderers and all that jazz. So it's a lot on a
yeah.
kid. And how should it sound? I was asked to spy on her father and was considering if I should agree. I already told you everything I know. See, that's a lie, and she can tell that's a lie. He's gonna wreck his relationship. One thing
Nah.
I've learned in
She,
all my long years, if communication's a key, if you want to have your relationship work, you have to talk about everything. I replied
she's
quietly,
gonna put up.
rolling my
She seems
eyes.
to be the type to put up with it, even if she shouldn't. Oh, that's it then.
I don't know. I think she's getting ready to break up. Yamicha said it
We'll see.
coldly and grabbed a plate suddenly. Oh my
That's
god.
it.
I've
Wow, she
never
does look
seen her
angry.
angry. She's never been angry before. She always puts up with it, like you said. She's not putting up with it, Corlith.
Mm.
She threw it to the floor immediately, grabbing another one.
So that's what you want. That's so that's what all your talk about love amounts to.
Oh my god, she's just breaking everything. Ding, glass shards scattered all over the place.
Why did you ever think that that you were trying to protect me? That. Why did I ever think that you were trying to protect me from something?
Another plate broke into pieces.
Maybe you just take me for an idiot and don't want me in your way.
And another one. Sunshine, that's enough already, I said impotently. My whole body seemed to turn to jelly and I couldn't even find the energy to stand up. You need to stand up and hug her and talk to her.
That's all you can say?
There were no plates left and Himitsu was standing, breathing heavily, looking at me with eyes full of resentment. I really don't blame you for your father, and I reacted like this at first, well, because it was too sudden.
And how do you think I felt? He's my father.
There's the tears. I love the animation in this. I think I need to shut off front row right now because it's covering it up.
Oh, I thought someone was throwing tomatoes at it.
I'm moving
I'm
the
being a
entire
dick.
thing. Come on. I can't. Why can I not get front row to move? Did I lock it in place? This front row is blocking her tears, and I hate it. But I don't think I can find it.
There's time. There is time. How are you guys enjoying the story so far? I don't make a very convincing woman. I'm so sorry.
As long as you put the emotion in, they should be fine. I'm gonna put it. No, that'll block the words, won't it? What if I put it over here? Put it over there. All right. Now you can see the tears. I mean, look at how well they drew the tears. That's really good art.
The definition is pretty great.
Yeah. He's just gonna say sorry. I'm sorry. I do not like the main character. Sorry. I babbled. I was disgusted by my sudden indecisiveness and softness. Well, if you're disgusted with it, push through it.
I see you don't trust me.
She took a few steps toward me, but the end sunk heavily onto a chair and turned away.
I can't keep this up any longer,
Told you.
Nico-kun.
She's breaking up with him. She's doing it.
Your parents, this corporation, my father, Katie-chan. I just want to be with you, but if you don't trust me, if you don't need me...
So wait, calm down. I need you. About time.
In that case, it's a pity you do everything possible to prove the opposite.
I stood up and was about to approach her, but Himitsu jumped away immediately.
I should go. I hope you'll be able to handle dinner by yourself.
He better not let her go. He needs to talk to her. And I'm going to adjust cat cam, because cat cam is live action cat cam today.
Sometimes the distance is healthy, even if it's unfortunate.
This time it's not, because he's been lying to her for long. She's mad about the lying. He needs to say, and instead of but wait, he needs to go, I'll tell you everything. Just sit down. You know, he needs to...
Yeah, that's not the way people work.
It's the way I work.
Yeah,
but I'm always honest with most everyone, so I don't lie and I can't lie. It's terrible. My face will let you know right away.
So you're not a very good duck, I see.
I think you figured that out.
I need to be alone. See, she needs time to reflect on herself, too. That's where I saw this going.
I decided not to stop her.
Unfortunately, as much as it sucks, it was probably the right answer.
Perhaps that was for the better? If nothing was to tie us together, she'd lose all value in the eyes of the Japanese intelligence and the KGB. Oh, he's breaking up with her now.
Again, he's giving her an out that, it's hard to be in a relationship with someone where there's always that lingering thing where you don't know.
The next time I would tell Irina that I wasn't going to spy on anyone. Yeah, he's thinking they're broke up now, and the responsibility for my decisions lie on my shoulders only.
Now there he's lying to himself again.
Yep. I was twisting and turning my bed, trying to fall asleep to no avail. What was I so afraid of had finally come to pass. He must have finally broke down.
What was he afraid of it, really? He should have thought about that a while back.
No, he's been afraid of it, and he's been worried he's going to lose her. But every time, he won't tell her the truth because he's like, if I tell you the truth, it'll be bad. If she knows too much, they'll be after her too. How would they know? How would they know she knows? But I don't know. And not because of my attitude towards her, but rather due to my clumsy attempts to protect her. So stupid. Yeah, you
clumsy. Yeah.
So silly and funny, like a bad, tragic comedy. While I was running back...
called Love, Money, and Rock and Roll?
Yeah, I think so. While I was running back and forth between her and Catherine, not giving a damn about her feelings, everything was normal. What did I do wrong in the end? Oh, how about not telling the truth? I could feel a lump in my throat, all of my memories of Himitsu from our childhood days till the most recent times passing before my eyes. I felt ashamed to lie to her, but now more than ever I had confidence in my decision. This is where he's an idiot. Let her resent me, stop talking to me, become distant, and forget me. That would be for her own good. Why do people always make decisions for other people? Why? He should have told her the truth and let her make the decision. If it's too much, then they split up. Making a decision for someone else is wrong. But now we're September 22nd, 1987.
I would have been 17.
Oh, this is where he's thinking. Are you okay has always seemed a weird and unnatural question to me. Especially in American movies, when a character might get his arm ripped off and his partner, with an expression of genuine concern on his face, would wonder whether the character was doing okay. Okay, that's a point. That's a point.
I have to agree with that.
Couldn't be better, goddammit. But thinking about it, what does okay mean in our lives anyway? You can only define it relatively. For instance, if I had my arm ripped off, at least at least wouldn't be my head. So compared to the worst possible situation, I'd be relative okay. I mean, yeah, it wasn't your head, I suppose. Yesterday I lost Himitsu, but at least I was alive. So in comparison with the worst situation, I was doing okay.
And she's alive, hopefully.
Yeah. Although, who needs an okay like this?
I mean, the problem here is that just because they've broken up now doesn't mean anyone else believes it or anything, right? So she's still connected. That's true. It's not really going to make a big difference.
Because when whatever the bad guys think these kids know because of the corporation, they're going to be watching all these kids.
Mm-hmm. And even if they don't, even if someone doesn't know, they don't know they don't know.
So
or they don't believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. I had fallen asleep pretty late, and around 4 in the morning was woken up by the usual sounds of cooking in the kitchen. Was Himitsu cooking breakfast after everything that happened the day before?
Fool.
Quickly got dressed and ran out of my room, but the person standing at the stove was... What the... Catherine?
Good morning. I was about to wake you up.
She was in. Yeah, how did you get in here? I asked gloomily, heavily against the door frame.
Come on now, is that how you're going to start such a wonderful day?
It certainly wasn't wonderful for me, and Catherine's presence didn't change that in the slightest. How did you get in?
I've been to your place more than once, remember? Nothing has changed since then.
Indeed, sneaking into the garden from the street wasn't difficult, and neither was opening the door of the kitchen if one knew how to. Catch you did. Maybe I should have been worried about burglars, but I had nothing valuable in the house, and it didn't look very interesting from the outside. What if I call the police?
Go ahead. Would be a good idea after yesterday's slaughter.
She smirks, stirring something in the pan.
The
What
hell?
slaughter? I asked, genuinely surprised.
Don't worry, I've already cleaned away the shards.
Oh, she's talking about the broken plates and glasses.
Ah. It's just, what are we supposed to eat off of now? Wow, she's certainly been new about something, eh?
Yeah.
She,
Well,
maybe
there was
she's
no
a
getting
spy.
out of this. Well, her mother works for the corporation, so I wouldn't be surprised. That's the other thing. We found out her mother was the supervisor of the project his parents worked on. I don't want to talk about it.
Of course you don't.
Because it's really suspicious. He has this big fight and then she's here in the morning. That's really suspicious. How would she even know to go? She smirks slyly. By the way, I didn't know you could cook. I tried to change the subject.
Just because I never cooked before?
Well, naturally.
Wow. Well, I couldn't, but I learned how over the past year. When you're on your own for a while, even pizza gets dull.
Perhaps I would have learned how to cook as well if Yumitsu weren't around all the time. So you came, you broke into my house, even at an ungodly hour, solely to show off your cooking skills?
Well, we've known each other for a while. I know you're having a hard time.
As if you can.
Of course I do. We're friends, aren't we?
No. Kazuya seems sincere, but I still can't believe her words, so I decided to change the subject a bit. What if Himitsu came now?
Will she?
Catherine smiled opaquely. Yes, she knows too much. I'm sorry.
After yesterday's...
What is it about? Yes. Whatever. Because there's no way she could know that Himitsu was the one that broke the plates. He could have. He could have been mad. She knows too much, and he's not catching on to that.
Men don't smash dishes.
They don't?
And no, they never do. And I'm quite certain that they're spying on him in some way.
I didn't want to talk about this, especially with her, so I sat silently and waited. The meal I eventually received, something resembling a stew, tasted pretty good, and felt much more Western than what I was used to eating. Which makes sense, because she's American. But you couldn't make this sort of thing in a half hour. When exactly had Catherine arrived? Yeah, stews take a while. It's good, I said, trying to make it sound as if it were merely being polite.
Not any worse than Himitsu's?
Why are you starting this all over again?
What's wrong with what I said?
Nothing.
You don't want to talk about her?
I don't. Snarled.
What? Trouble in paradise? You two had a fight?
Honestly, it's none of your business. I looked at Kachi and felt nothing. Oh, about time! 1 second.
I mean, the music does fit the fact that she's being really bitchy about this.
Yes. Yes, I was happy for the tasty breakfast and the fact she had come over, but on the other hand, I would have felt just as comfortable alone. So he actually doesn't have feelings for her anymore. This is wonderful.
Well, as you wish. You'll need to tell me, but I will find out anyway.
From your mom and her spy network? Catherine pulled a long face and stared at her plate.
Nice call out.
Doesn't feel nice when someone hits your sore spot, does it?
Why do you think it's a sore spot for me? I think we've already discussed it and figured everything out.
After the revealed truth about Himitsu's father and the KGB's ultimatum, the whole situation with her mom seemed, if not a stupid misunderstanding, then merely a trifle. Then I understand why you're here even less, and don't tell me that you're just worried about me, for God's sake.
Fine, I won't. But what if that's true?
I gave Katya a look from under my brows. She looked and behaved absolutely normal, maybe a little bit more polite, which in her case meant less sarcastic. That's true. Thank you.
That's nice. You don't sound sincere.
Don't know what to tell you. I
Yeah,
wonder
no
what would
shit.
happen if Himitsu actually came over. Himitsu would think they slept together or something. It would be bad. She needs to go out the back. Look, thank you for the breakfast, and
You're kicking me out?
she interrupted me flatly. I just need to get ready for school.
I can help.
How could she help him get ready for school? Go away. I'll handle it.
Okay, I'll do the dishes.
No need. Leave them.
Don't you think it's at the very least rude to kick me out after I've been stuck at the stove for 2 goddamn hours?
Because she snuck in. Sneak in.
Yeah,
Catherine frowned and finally looked like herself.
I really wonder what her game is here.
I know. Do what you want. I went to the bathroom to brush my teeth, wash my face. Then I changed into my school uniform and returned to the kitchen. Catherine was sitting in her old seat looking out in the garden with a bored expression on her face. The dirty dishes were where I left them. Didn't you want to do the dishes?
And you said I didn't need to. Yeah, of course.
I see.
Shall we go?
Do not just go with her. They'll look so bad to Himitsu. You'll lose Himitsu completely if she sees this. She rose gracefully from her chair and walked to the hallway. I was definitely afraid Himitsu would see us together, but I couldn't just push her out of the house. She obviously wasn't going to leave alone.
Looking for something?
Catherine asked snidely, seeing me cautiously look around. The meaning of life. Let's go already. So Himitsu didn't see it.
Well, even if she did, I mean, and she's clearly trying to set something up, and I mean...
She's trying to make it look like they're back together again, which will make Himitsu go away, but I don't know what her game is. Why does she care?
I think she's being either forced into it or...
Yeah,
anyway.
Last time we walked to school like this. She had stayed at my place overnight before when my parents weren't home, but it only happened once or twice.
Bring back memories?
What does?
All this.
Katya made a pirouette, her skirt dancing along flirtatiously.
Although you must have fallen out of habit.
Apparently so. I replied briefly in order to avoid continuing this conversation, sinking deeper into the past.
Not much has changed here over the years.
Catherine was constantly looking around. Was it supposed to? It's only been a year and a half. Finished with a bit of strain.
In our times, everything changes at the speed of thought, you know.
Why are you doing this?
I just thought it'd sound nice.
No, I mean, why did you come in the morning and cook breakfast? I can't believe it's just because you care about me. I think you need something from me.
What could I possibly need from you?
Catherine stopped and looked me in the eyes with a cute smile on her face. Yeah, see, this is not how Catherine's behaved at all. What? What? I don't know, and I don't want to play these games.
Well, don't then. Myself, I find them very funny.
It's cruel. She merely turned around and walked a couple steps ahead of me. So you're not even going to try and deny it, are you? As nasty as it felt to acknowledge, this punitive honesty was appealing to me, even a bit arousing. No, you stop.
Pinky? Deny what?
Catherine said without turning around. We approached the school and I noticed Michael in the distance. So did Katya.
Did you know that Michael likes me?
She asked seemingly casually. What? Yes, we do know Michael actually has permission to date Katya. He was very kind about it.
I think he and I would find at least a couple of things to talk about.
How do you know? Did he?
No, we haven't even talked yet. It's just easy to see. I notice it right away. Feminine intuition.
Katya added flirtatiously. I see. Oh, she's trying to make him jealous. My voice sounded way too unhappy. Deep inside, I scolded myself for that.
So, I'm thinking about what to do with that. What do you think?
No.
What? You aren't interested at all? Perhaps you could give me a piece of friendly advice?
It's not my business. Which is what he actually told his friend.
Isn't it?
Taking a sly smile and approached a group of girls I didn't know. So she did have friends, or at least acquaintances. Didn't know whether Michael noticed this or not, but I had no desire to talk to him, so I slowed down waiting until he entered the school building. Catherine showed up in the classroom right before the bell and sat down behind her desk, paying no attention to me. What did she want from me in the end? What was with that performance? Maybe it was some strange sort of revenge? It was hard for me to think about that moment, especially with my fight with Himitsu and the whole spy business as the backdrop. Catherine definitely had no intention of leaving me alone, which was beginning to irritate me. God, how quickly can a man's feelings change? Only a couple weeks ago I could only dream about spending this much time with her. And now? Now I'd rather she left me alone. I was afraid to admit that even to myself, coming up with stupid excuses like I have more important things to deal with now.
And now it's like he's like a pearl and she's an itch making him.
Yeah.
Sorry, not a pearl, clam.
Clam,
She's
yeah.
an itch in his butt and he's producing a pearl.
Yep. During the break, Michael approached me, his look implying we were going to have a serious conversation. Oh, that's you.
I can do that. Well, I mean, since we're doing the whole gender bender thing, do you want to do it? Well, no, because then we won't be conversation.
Then I'll be talking to myself. No, you do him.
Yeah. Hi. Have you got a minute?
For you, always. I tried to preemptively shield myself with sarcasm.
I really don't want to start it over again, but you leave me no choice. Today, you and Catherine came to school together.
So he noticed us back then. Yeah, so what?
Did you just happen to meet on your way, or... You know what I mean.
He closed his eyes for a moment, but then looked at me again with the same confidence. Go, Michael.
You just need to tell me the truth, and I won't come between you or ruin your relationship. Look at the eyes of the characters around them.
Yeah, everyone... Yeah. Our relationship? I smirked. Why don't you ask her first whether we're in any kind of relationship?
It looks different from the outside.
Yeah, it does. I can see that. I always manage to remain so composed and say all this in a calm, even tone. I don't care how it looks to anyone.
We're not going to get anywhere like this.
I'm not going anywhere. I feel pretty alright here. Nikolai, just tell the truth. You have no interest. I said a bit louder than I should have and attracted the attention of the students sitting next to us. What do you need from me in the end?
To tell the truth. Are you together or not?
I really didn't understand or want to understand the hints that was nothing between us. Well, stop hinting. Just say, there's nothing between us. It's not hard, Nikolai. I was so fed up with all this.
Thing?
Maybe. So why couldn't I say it out loud? Even he's wondering. It often happens you don't do what you need to because of that. You start hating yourself and get depressed. In turn, depression obstructs you from doing what you need to do. A vicious cycle. Anyway, this explanation sounds much better than the thought that I still wasn't able to reject Catherine completely. What if we are? Are you going to turn away and leave pretending nothing happened? If you like the girl, why the hell do you need my opinion? Afraid to hurt my feelings? Come on. You're just being hypocritical. You want to make yourself look good so that nobody will think badly of you, no matter the outcome. I still can understand. What do you want to hear from me? Am I interested in her? Only sexually, I assure you. Oh, bye. Want to be whole, brothers? Be my guest. Oh my god, he did not. But he did. I stopped for a moment to catch my breath, only then realized the class was gravely silent. Everyone was looking at me.
Wow, that's rough.
Catherine quickly stood up and packed her bag and left. Yeah, because Catherine heard him say he only wants her sexually and nothing else. You're an idiot. That's what you are. Acutely stressed will always find a way out, one way or another. There was nothing surprising about that, but I picked the least appropriate moment possible. Michael, I'm sorry.
I don't think I'm the person you should apologize to.
He said coldly and returned to his desk. I don't think you should go find Catherine. No, do not find Oh my god. I ran out of the classroom and rushed down the stairs. But Catherine was neither at the lockers nor at the yard. She could be hiding somewhere in the school or have left already. Anyway, now I couldn't find her. An awful thought flashed through my mind that she deserved it because of her behavior today. But what did she do wrong exactly? She broke into your house, dude. Make a tasty stew?
Well, no, that... No,
really
not make the tasty stew. She showed up and made it look like they were seeing each other again. Like, come on.
And she was leading him on, and she broke into the house. There's a lot of bad
I wonder
there.
I wonder if Michael's in on this too. I mean, considering the whole spy angle.
There's a
She
question.
may be using him though for whatever's going on.
It's possible. The bell for class reached me at the school gate. I was just standing there trying to figure out how I had come to this. How could my life instantly turn into a play by an amateur Broadway scriptwriter? Why was this even happening to me alone while other people were living their lives normally? Kayasaki, Saya-chan, even Michael. I was
Because
ashamed
he's
to
such a
return.
good pawn.
Yeah, I was ashamed to return to the classroom, but the idea of being alone with myself enticed me even less. Besides, me looking the whispers behind my back would be a wonderful punishment for me. Oh, he went back to class. That's a first. Blowing my head and mumbling something that sounded like an excuse, I entered the classroom and sat at my desk. Couldn't say how my classmates reacted to me showing up as I instantly stared into my notebook and tried to concentrate on the teacher's words. It's a great piece of advice. When you feel down, you should concentrate on work. Get distracted, so to say. Yeah, right. I don't know a single person who that actually worked for. How could someone simply silence every thought about the things that constitute the very essence of their existence? Yumitsu, Catherine, the truth about my parents' death. That was my entire life. If I were to forget, delete, scrub it away with rubber like a typo in a dictation, what would be left? Yeah, I had no job, and the closest to it was school. But could abstract logarithms, integrals, and biographies of long dead public figures become more important to me than real problems and real people?
Sometimes you get overwhelmed. I get it.
Yeah. Classes had ended a long time ago. I was just sitting alone in the empty classroom, not thinking about anything in particular. I was too tired of everything, just couldn't concentrate on anything, and I had no desire to go somewhere and do something. Without students, the school became quiet and still, and in the silence, the sound of steps coming through the corridor sounded sinister, as if a mortician or a plague doctor were coming for me.
Bum, bum, bum.
The sound was getting louder but remained monotonous, and every step was accompanied by a dull creaking. Someone massive was approaching. The door opened slowly, and I was ready for anything to come in, holding my breath. It was just Kayasuki.
Still here?
He asked
Gotta
an
think of a voice for
unusually serious voice. This guy's always cheerful, always bubbly, just so you know his
it.
character.
Yeah.
He's only starting to get serious now because Nikolai's been bad. So right now he's being serious. Don't scare me like that, I exclaimed.
What did I do?
You're walking like death itself.
Yeah, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, you're off your rocker.
He came closer and sat behind the desk next to mine.
I didn't want to come back at first, but then I thought you could use someone to talk to.
If he could. About what?
Do you think I'm a complete idiot and I haven't noticed anything? Even if that were the case, you told the entire class about your problems today. True.
Michael just doesn't know when to stop.
I don't think it's about him, or not only about him.
Maybe, but what do you want from me? I'm just fed up with the situation, all these misunderstandings and omissions. Catherine and I are just friends. Catching Kayasaki's admonishing look, I specified. At the very least, we're not lovers.
Then I really don't understand why you're being so stubborn. You always have Himitsu-chan.
Always? I smirked sadly and gave him a look of contempt. It's not a game, not some A or B choice.
You sure? Maybe it's actually that easy, and you just need to choose.
What was right and I was wrong. Well, making a choice naturally wasn't easy, but it was definitely the right thing to do. And by avoiding giving Michael a straight answer, I was postponing my choice as hard as I could.
Ah, that's an
Hey,
interesting perspective.
that's a breakthrough. Why do you know? Or what do you know? But I definitely couldn't confess that to Kayasuki.
Sometimes you should just look at the situation objectively and impartially.
Oh? It's Kayasuki.
Hmm.
I shook him by the shoulders. Seriously, objectively, impartially? How do you even manage that?
I'm just giving you a bit of advice. That's the easiest thing to do. He's not
Finally
wrong.
smiled. Ain't that right?
Anyway, you could use a distraction. Want to go to the arcade?
Oh, here comes introspection time. Even
Bum,
if
bum, bum.
Kiyosaki was right, it's not like I didn't know as much myself. But knowing what's right and proper doesn't then make your decision any easier.
Sometimes having it spelled out helps.
Yes, we left the arcade when it was already dark. Alright, so what's your advice?
In Galaxian, first try to shoot the ones on the sides and make free zones.
No, damn it.
Well, about that, you're probably asking the wrong person.
Scratched the back of his head and smiled sadly. Asking for love advice, just tell me what you would do if you were me. I really need an objective opinion, so to say. You said it yourself.
Well, I would choose Himitsu-chan.
Isaki replied without any hesitation. Somehow I thought he would try to deny it and hesitate for a while. Really? You're unusually decisive today. I guess arcades do some good after all.
What does that have to do with arcades? I've always been on her side.
Really? I don't remember you ever telling me that.
Have you ever asked?
He's so bad to all his friends. True enough. Keisaki with his how do you say that word?
Voracious.
Voracious passion for 2-date always seemed like the last person to talk to about real girls. See, I've seen that word. I understand what it means. I read it all the time, but I've never heard it until today. You know how that
Voracious.
happens? Never
do.
mind. So why do you think that?
I don't know Catherine-san that well, as you're aware, but I'm quite familiar with Himitsu-chan, and I know about the things she's done and keeps doing for you.
Is this your way of trying to shame me?
No, I'm just stating facts. Am I wrong?
Wrong in what sense? Are we going to measure the things she has done for me in kilograms or kilometers?
No, goddammit, in feet. Nick, why can't you just agree something with me when it's true?
Saying you're wrong, just...
Then why do you always need these clarifications and clauses?
Maybe because this way I feel less guilty? You know, life isn't all black and white like in your manga.
You think I don't understand that? At least you have someone to choose from.
It was hard for me to continue this conversation. I really didn't want to upset Kaisuke. To him, all my problems seemed to be just romantic ones, since he didn't even know a fraction of the truth. I wondered how I would have acted if he was right. If my parents hadn't been killed, but really died in a car accident, if Yumitsu's father had been spying on me and Catherine's mother was just a diplomat. In his view, that's what my life was. And 1.5 years ago, that's exactly the case. I chose Catherine without hesitation back then. Well, I guess it's enough for today. See you. I stretched my hand out to him.
Will you come to school tomorrow?
I will. We said a warm goodbye and I headed home. The lights were on in my house. I froze thinking that Himitsu could be there and tried to hold back the warm feeling in my chest. I slowly entered the yard and opened the front door with my key. However, I didn't find her shoes in the hall. I didn't even know why I paid attention to that, but my heart skipped a beat. She couldn't come to me wearing slippers, could she? Trying not to make any noise, I sneaked into the kitchen. You again? He needs to tell her to go away and stop breaking into his house, or call the police at this point. This is creepy.
It's creepy, but I mean, they know each other. It would be a hard call to... Anyway, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Catherine looked at me idly and recrossed her legs.
I see you're expecting someone else?
It's more like I wasn't expecting to see you.
Sorry, I decided not to cook dinner since you didn't seem to enjoy breakfast.
She smirked and fidgeted with a fork in the box of instant noodles before her. Still not a fan of chopsticks?
I was wondering if you'd come alone or not.
What does that have to do with anything? I was about to get angry, but immediately remembered my behavior at school and felt dejected. Look, I'm sorry for everything I said today. That's not what I really think.
Oh, of course it isn't. I understand that you're having a rough time and getting a little jumpy.
She didn't say anything that wasn't normal for her, but this time it really got to me. So why become then, especially after what I've done?
Did you think I would hide in the deepest hole I could find, cry, pity myself, and curse you? Maybe it would have even been appropriate considering the situation, but why would I do that?
So instead you decided to come here? This is definitely the more logical move. I approached the fridge, opened it, found nothing, and just poured some tap water into a glass.
It's not about me at all.
What is it about then?
Himitsu.
What about her? I grew cautious instantly.
I heard my mom talking on the phone.
Katja's smile was clearly fidgeting in the chair.
Himitsu's father works for Japanese intelligence and spies on you. I wanted to tell you in the morning, but I couldn't find the courage. Are you going to say anything?
I kept looking at her respectfully but a bit vacantly at the same time, wondering where your sarcasm goes when you start talking about serious things. Do you know that chameleons can't change hue in their sleep and always remain the same color?
Nick, I'm serious.
Maybe you'll tell me something I don't already know.
So you...
She stood up and came closer.
How can you talk with her after that?
Don't worry, we no longer talk, for now at least.
How long have you known?
For some time, I replied evasively. So it turned out that Catherine came and told me everything herself, unlike Himitsu confessed only when I forced her to. This made the burden of my heart even heavier.
That's just like you.
What exactly? That I trust the only person close to me who's never betrayed me before?
That's what you think?
She whispered, but paid no attention and kept attacking her. It's so weird that I'm looking for support from anyone at all when I'm besieged on all sides, isn't it? By Himitsu and you and others. I wasn't shouting, but Catherine looked frightened. That's so strange for normal people, is that what you think? Any normal person would have long offed himself in my place. Or tell me what I gotta do and I'll do it. And what are you accusing Himitsu of? Do you think she works for Japanese intelligence? Just so happened the stars align like this. Everything in my life is fucked by default, so what's so surprising about that? Ketchu was quiet, but after these words straightened up and seemed to have become as tall as me.
You fucked it all up again, Nick. First you lose me, and now apparently her? And what do you blame? The stars?
What? The words surprised me so much I staggered back and hit the sink behind me. What did I do wrong? You did everything, Nick, wrong. I'm just going to point that out.
You always blame everyone else. Me, Himitsu, others? What others? There's only two of us here, and Himitsu's in the house across the street.
You know full well you two aren't my only problem. I turned away to avoid looking her in the eye.
And you will never find a solution if you keep waving everyone away.
I'm such an idiot
I'm
to have
such a...
come here. Oh, sorry. That's her.
That's Catherine.
Yeah.
I'm such an idiot to have come here, to think you could still be helped.
Trust her. I'm
I don't.
sorry. Mm-mm.
And now even when someone spits in your eye, you just say it's rain? But I must say, you two deserve each other.
I was strong need to say something, come up with an objection, but I have no strength. Felt as if her words had drained the last bits of my will to live. I just don't know what to do.
I notice as much.
I'm so tired of this game playing emotion ping pong. You become sarcastic. I retaliate. I snap at you, and you get pissed. Catherine didn't respond, but clearly grew embarrassed.
Well, I guess it's my turn to say, that's life.
Everything could be different. And just this very morning, I was absolutely sure that I had no feelings for her. And now, I didn't know.
Of course, but it's not. And looking for someone to blame won't do any good.
Looking for anyone to blame, but thanks for telling me. Did your mom tell you anything else?
No, nothing else.
Replied after a short pause.
But I'd say this is already more than enough. In any case, I told you what I wanted to, and I have nothing else to say, which means I have nothing to do here. So long.
Good. Leave, leave, leave. I saw her to the door.
If something happens, you know where to find me.
Said as a farewell. Why does she need to say that? To leave me with a foolish hope or to keep me on a short leash? I don't trust her.
Yeah.
Looked out onto the
Yes.
street and spent a long time staring at the light in Himitsu's room. Catherine didn't tell me anything new, but brought an unbelievable pain with her stupid, unnecessary, inappropriate honesty. And why was she so willing to tell me everything except for what really mattered?
I don't know, this stuff sounded to pre-matter.
Yeah. I watched TV until late in the night, trying to get rid of the thoughts of ditching everything and joining a monastery. Well, solve some of his problems, I suppose. Actually, probably all of them. They can't really get to him inside a monastery, right?
Hmm.
Oh. November 23rd. Introspection time. Why do different people like different colors? Freud and Lucier most definitely had their opinions on that, but I've always struggled to make a clear choice. Sometimes my favorite color would be blue or violet. I used to hate yellow, and my childhood preference was white. Of course, there are strict scientific explanations for the matter, but in our everyday life, we're used to more basic interpretations. Red symbolizes the unbridled fervor of fire. Fire epitomizes the serenity of the clear summer sky. Oh, I like that. While black reminds us of the dusty shrouds and gloomy vaults of a Gothic church. Wasn't sure which colors I would associate with Catherine Himitsu, but my memories or smiles used the same palette. That was an interesting introspective. Sound. What's your favorite color, Corliss? Never asked that. Do you have a favorite?
I'm fond of dark purples, like greens. I like the vibrant electric type colors,
Gotcha.
but not magenta.
Not magenta,
That's
huh?
why that's why I use it for my green screen, my magenta screen.
Yeah, that magenta's horrible.
Yeah, it's awful.
The sound of the TV woke me up, and with some effort I blew my nose. The night wind had made it stuffy. Due to the uncomfortable position, my back hurt, making the awakening even less enjoyable. Had to take a drink there. On the screen, chipper and overly smiley, news anchors were wishing a good morning to all the inhabitants of Tokyo. They had it easier, of course. These programs were usually pre-recorded, and now they are peacefully sleeping in their cozy beds. Right after the fake smiles and tons of face powder came a cooking show. Spend just 5 minutes and make yourself happy with tasty, healthy breakfast. A professional chef with more than 20 years of experience was shouting, skillfully filleting fish and slicing vegetables. Yeah, right. I wouldn't be able to cook anything like that even in 3 hours, with or without all the ingredients. With a dead mouse, a couple dozen cockroaches, and some soy sauce to make for an undoubtedly higher protein, though probably not as tasty meal than the one prepared by that TV show.
Oh, apparently cockroaches taste great. Blech.
I haven't had cockroaches. I can say grasshoppers were good and crickets, and ants weren't bad. Having weighed up all the cons and failed to find any pros, I got dressed and walked to school. I had no desire to skip classes since I had nothing else to do in the morning. Probably should fill in why I know this. I used to belong to Dagger Battle Games, and people around the world would get together for one massive 2,000 people battle, and we would sit down and bring unusual things that our culture had for food, and we would do like a potluck. So I had to try a lot of interesting things. Morning, kitty! By skipping breakfast, I managed to find some time to drop by a shop and buy a couple of chocolate bars. I wanted to go to my favorite ramen place as well, but after counting the money in my wallet, I abandoned the idea. I still had a week before the end of the month.
Ramen.
Yeah.
There's a ramen place here nearby. I wonder.
I wish. No, we make our own ramen, but we haven't in a while because it costs a bit more to make it. We're trying to cut down because grocery prices have gone up, as you know.
Yeah.
And it's going to get worse.
Right now, our protagonist is what's the best way to put it? Very confused about himself because he's kind of a moron.
Yeah, I was gonna say our protagonist is an idiot. He said he doesn't want anything to do with Catherine. Then Catherine started showing up, and we don't know why. She wants something. Keeps breaking into his house and cooking.
Her excuse for telling him about him being spied on was nice,
but not believable.
But he already knew that. But all the games she was playing up to that was just annoying.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So
last time on
Love, Money,
previously
and Rock
on Dragon Ball Z.
I've never seen that show.
It's
I know what it is, but when it came out, it looked too juvenile for me because I'm older. So I went no, and I never went back to it.
So I got a bit of story for you.
Okay.
In the 90s, somebody lent me the VHS tapes to Dragon Ball Z. It's really, really long. And not in a good way. It's boring long. And in the end, what I ended up doing is, VHS is you could watch something at fast forward, and it was funnier and better to watch it in fast forward.
I think Dragon Ball Z is a lot like some of the stuff I watched in my childhood. When you're a kid, you think it's great, but when you go back, you go, "Oh, what was I thinking?" I really think it's one of those
Well, I
kind
mean,
of shows.
I was already an adult by the point that someone lent that to me.
Well, yeah,
It
that's
was really drawn out.
yeah, that's why I'm thinking us as adults can't appreciate it because it's something that if you're a kid, you appreciate, think it's wonderful, and then when you go back, it's not so
Flashy colors and all that stuff.
it's
But
not
yeah.
so
So
great.
apparently,
Yeah.
I found it quite painful to watch. Now
Oh,
that being said, there was a version that came out a few years ago called Dragon Ball Z Kai, and that is Dragon Ball Z with all the boring filler stuff cut out of it, and apparently it's really good.
yeah.
Because the story actually isn't bad. It's just with all the filler around it, it was just painful to drag yourself
It's like
through.
Naruto. I love Naruto, but I hate Naruto because
Yeah, I can't do Naruto.
I watched.
Actually, interestingly enough, yeah.
I used to watch Naruto. As soon as they started a fight scene, I would just fast forward the episodes until they were done, and you lose 5 or 6 episodes, but it's too drawn out for me. So that's how I love
Yeah.
Naruto. I cut out chunks of it.
Well, and some of the convoluted, I did this because I knew you knew this, but you knew this, but I knew you knew. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was a little too much. You know how I can get it, but sometimes it's too much of a stretch to take seriously. And then when you got to the
Yes.
filler after, yeah, adds in 4 minutes.
Yeah, I agree with
And
you completely.
after the Fall of the Leaf Village arc, I was like, okay, everything just got really boring.
Yeah, I stopped watching it after Pervy Sage died. I was like, nope.
Oh, you made it longer than I did.
Yeah, I got to the Pervy Sage arc, and it was so well done. But I'm like, I'm done here. But that's why I
Mm,
cosplay as Tsunade, because the story between Tsunade and Pervy Sage and stuff, when they did the filler of their backstories, it's like that's why I play her. I understand. I
mm.
get her. So
I actually like her character. She's
she's real.
she's a good one.
That's why I cosplay. It was funny because
Yeah.
what happened was is my friends were part of a Naruto cosplay group. I'm like, I've never seen Naruto. At the time, I was trying to cosplay Steins Gate because Steins Gate's my favorite anime.
Mm,
Still is my favorite
that's a
anime.
good one.
Oh, you actually know it. Most people go Steins what? I
Yeah, no, Science Gate's a great one.
right now they have a story like what we're doing here for Steins Gate, and it's on sale, but I don't have $8. It's killing me. But anyway, I'm
Are,
like,
are,
okay,
are we going to do a read aloud of Steins Gate? I will have to help you with that.
got $8. I would love it. But yes,
I think I can handle
because
$8.
it's a story. It's a story game just like this, but it's Steins Gate. They've
Mm,
got two versions. They've got one that's actual Steins Gate, and then the one where they made it into a comedy. I want to do those, but I don't have
yeah.
money right now. So, but anyway, back to my little story. So I went and started watching. I'm like, I'm gonna be Tsunade, and they're like, why would you want to play an older character? I'm like, because she kicks
Why
ass.
not? Yeah, and she's awesome.
She's awesome. They were all shocked. So it worked really well because we had Naruto and we had
Kitty, that's hilarious. That's so appropriate. Go
oh
ahead. Sorry, I.
yes, Kitty's right though. So we had a group of 6 of us. So we had some really cool pictures and stuff. It was a fun time before COVID hit. After COVID hit, I couldn't afford cons no more. Go
No,
figure.
nobody could really.
hmm But there's a free one coming. I'm thinking about seeing if I can fit the outfit again and go. A little nervous about trying to see if it fits. I've gotten larger since then.
Well, the medication, eh?
Yep, it's all the medication. The doctors cannot figure a way to. I can either be thin or have pain. You know, thin
I
and
don't. I
pain
don't
or
know.
no pain.
My sister was in the fairly same boat for a long time. Yeah, actually, she's gotten really into yoga. Not yoga. Well, yeah, yoga. No, yoga. Basically, she does sort of sword dancing.
So
So, hey, Azora! I shouldn't say dancing, but it's more like sword katas and stuff, and she finds it really satisfying.
I miss those days. I was
Yeah.
when I used to do the live steel fighting, I did so much exercise and I got out of the habit when the pain got bad. And now I'm back to
Yeah.
I'm walking. I work out with this side, so I do that. And but it's just I'm not gaining weight, but I'm going down. Yeah, I actually used to cosplay and I'm thinking about pulling it out and see if I still fit it because I made it by hand, so maybe I can make it larger.
See, another Tsunade appreciator. Yes.
And you like Steins Gate?
And see,
Oh
see,
my
see.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Okay, we got yeah, I've got the I wantsies. Go into my wish list score. But
So we have an ad break coming up in 1 minute,
should we return to the
and I.
story or keep reminiscing?
Well, what I'm yeah, let's either reminisce or take a 3 minute break. Everyone should be drinking the waters.
I've got my water. I've been drinking my
Drink your
water.
water.
What I'm thinking about doing is pulling up a picture of me as Tsunade from Facebook and showing you
Do
guys.
it.
Would you be
Do it.
interested in that?
Do it.
So let me see if I can find
Do
it.
it.
Let's see. I can't see chat, so you talk to chat for me while I'm doing this.
I will talk
Just
to chat, and I'm just so that Azora doesn't have to not see the pictures during the break. I will help. There we go. Boom. Done.
Oh, that's so kind of you. Okay, so let's see. Where is
There,
that?
Azora. No ad break for you.
That's me. It's very kind of you. That's fun. Gotta go further back.
By the way, that visual novel for Steins Gate, was it $8 for both of them or just one of them?
Just one of them. I think the other one was another $8. They're both
Okay, it's
cheap.
good to know.
They're dirt cheap. You'll see when you look on the list. No, that's our wedding. That's
Hmm.
not what I want to show you. Da, 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 da,
Yeah,
da.
unfortunately, I can't gift it to you directly. I assume it's on Steam, right?
Yes, it's on Steam.
Because, interestingly enough, if there's too much of an exchange rate, you can't gift games between countries.
Oh, I gotcha. Do you guys know what's it called? God damn it! It's been so long since I cosplayed this. I love this anime. Helsing. I think it's called.
Oh, Helsing Unlimited? Helsing, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know the character Sir Integra?
Uh, no, but that's my fault.
That's your fault.
By the way, but I can see this here, unless it's you're streaming it, and I just haven't seen it mirror to the stream yet.
No, I'm not mirrored to the stream yet. I'm
Uh,
looking for. I see game capture. I'm looking for screen capture, display capture. That's the one. Okay, we're gonna switch over to display capture. Things are gonna be black for
so,
a
ladies and
second
gentlemen, it's show and tell time where Dusty's showing off some cosplays. Here it comes.
because it's during the break. Why not? I'm trying to figure out
Why
why
not?
display
Yeah.
capture is not working. Come on, display capture. Because I'm on display capture, it should show the screen I'm on. Properties, capture method, select display to capture. Primary
You're
monitor. There we
surprised?
go.
What
Does
about
that work?
Steins Gate? Or
Does that work? Can you guys see that?
I'm waiting for it to sync up to.
That work.
uh, Oh, something's happened. Okay, got dark. Twitch is
Twitch is taking its time. It's okay.
yeah.
So this is my Sur Integra because I think Zora sees it. Because he's going, heck yeah. If you're familiar with it, no, I don't smoke. That's just a prop. But this is my version of Sur Integra.
I'm still seeing the black screen on my view of this. Oh, there it is. Yep, it's coming through.
There you go. What do you think?
There you go.
So I don't know if you're familiar with the
Mm-hmm.
character, but that's my version.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to block this for a second. You're going to be black for a second because I don't want you to see other photos. Let's see. And then we're going to go into further back. Oh, there it is.
Some of the
And
HEMA stuff. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good one.
oh, oh, that's yeah, because Corliss can see stuff that you guys can't see. But
No, that's a great picture.
this is Mia Tsunade, and that is
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah, yeah.
friend being Naruto. So, what do you think of that? So yeah, that I made the coat. I dyed the gi and added to it the black lines you need to see. I made the pants.
Mm.
So unfortunately, I never got a shot of the behind. I've got the full circle and everything. That was a pain in the ass. I never knew how bad it would be to sew a circle. But yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah, that is the wrong yeah. Mhm.
circle's awful. But yeah, so when I say I did Tsunade, that's what I did. This is my LARP stuff that I'm yeah, I don't think
Mm.
anyone's care. Oh, my movie role.
Which
uh,
character was that?
um this here was there was a scene where a bunch of
You can
goth
show it off, by the way. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not inappropriate.
I know, I've got it. This is where my I did one of my movies where I did the background and a bunch of goth chicks. That's I have a
Mm.
goth chick, attack the main character. So that's what I look like at the bar before I started confronting the main character, and then I got to get a lead pipe and beat her up in a basement in the scene. It's a movie, so none of it's real. But yeah, so this is when I was thinner. As you can see, this is back in 2018. So
Yeah.
my community's back. My community's gonna go, why is Dusty a goth now? But show and tell because I never do this on stream. I probably should. Just looking to see if
You
there's
should.
one of anything.
Oh, there's
Me.
the Naruto.
There's a better one of the front of the Naruto. Oh, this is all of us. This is all my friends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. This is all my friends. This is to this day, the the one in the back here, that's my friend Hillary. We are best friends. She was my maid of honor actually. And then I've got my friend Robert, not the one I married, over here. So, but yeah, it's just and Russell and stuff. This is what we used to do back because before before COVID, things were cheaper and we could do cons together. So
Mm.
like so when I talk about I used to cosplay, there we go.
Oh, Bazora's Kakashi. Yeah, that'd be
Well,
nice.
Kakashi, he's right here. But anyway, the ad's over. Hi, Raven. We were doing storytelling. Um, so because I don't think I have any of my life steal handy. Oh, this is another movie role. I don't know if I should show that one when I was a hick.
Looks fine.
Hmm.
Oh, there's a good one. The
Which
one with
one?
the close up of Tsunade with
This
the
one?
yeah, that one. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Close up
that's a good one.
close up of the Sonata. There we go.
Yeah, yeah, this is a good one. This because all the other ones don't show your face.
Oh, okay.
Real This one does.
Yeah, and you can actually see the coat and stuff I made. I literally took
Yeah,
some
yeah.
old drapes I found for the green, and then the sash, it was a piece of fabric that I found lying on my friend's house. I'm like, "Can I use this?" And she's like, "What are you gonna do with that?" I'm like, "Well, I need to have," I forgot what you call it, the obi. So,
Yep.
yeah, I had fun with that. So, my version of Tsunade. I miss these days, but I'm thinking about pulling it out and going to the free con that's the day before my birthday. So that would means I
Mm.
would go to a free con the day before my birthday, and then I would go to do my birthday stream the very next day. Okay, I'm gonna show you one more. Do any of you guys know Ruby?
Yes.
Then you might know this character. Let's see if anyone knows Ruby, and if they do,
I'm aware of it.
can you
I
guess
haven't
the
watched it,
character?
sadly.
Okay, Zora,
But Azora does.
who
Azora
is
knows it, so this
this?
will be
Yes, shakes. Shuri's here. Shuri's like, I know that character. I know that character. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll actually show because I had fun with this one to make sure that it was exactly correct. But yeah, we have a winner. It was a fun cosplay. We everyone it was still doing Naruto, and then then we decided everyone's going to do something different. So here's my entire friend group doing the iconic walk. So oh, and fun fact, the sword that's in Hillary's hands, that was made by me and my partner, when we had Grumpy Dwarf Forge. Somehow this became story
mm.
time. I don't know how this became story time. But yeah, so
I
I was gonna
I might have had something to do with it.
I was gonna show some lifesteal fighting, but I didn't. This is one of my favorite ones with me on the rock. That one there was not staged. I was actually reading and somebody came by and took a picture and gave it to us. So, but yeah, so that this is me back in the con. Oh, and this is my LARP group. Um, we were
No one
asked.
fights alone.
Yeah, we were at. This is actually a campaign for one of my friends who has brain disease, and he asked if we would do an ad. So this and what's interesting about this picture that I think you're gonna find interesting. I made my outfit. I made this sword. I made this sword. I made this outfit he's in.
That's
I made this outfit. I made the anvil, and Iron. I made his cloak, his weapon. What he's wearing, though, we picked up at the Salvation Army. This is Iron when he's a kid. Don't tell him I showed you guys. But yeah, so once upon a time, I had a hand, and it did a lot of amazing things. So, but yeah, so I think Twisted Justice. We'll get back out that. You guys don't care about me going to the Build-A-Bear for the first time. Uh, LARPing, more movies. Oh, there's me with
yeah,
here.
Zora, I do
Here's
think that making props. Yeah, there it is, beating
this
up the
is
pipe.
this is the actual scene from the movie where I have the pipe and I'm getting ready to basically kill my friend Hillary. So glad you have friends
Kill
that
is
you
such
do
a
that.
strong. Kill is such a strong word.
Well, that's what the scene was all about. So, but yeah, I tried to make myself look like a serious angry guy. Unfortunately, they decided not to use a prop pipe. That's an actual lead pipe, and it was so heavy, that scene. And
Ye-
where we are is in a basement of an old barn, and it was about 20 degrees in there. So I turned
Brr.
blue. I turned blue. It was a very hard scene to shoot. And Hillary kept getting her lines wrong, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna die of cold." And this pipe's so heavy. But yeah, I miss my acting days. Yes, I have an IMDb if people are curious. I did once upon a time. I think that'll be the last thing because I can't find the life steal stuff. Just the oh,
Oh,
this is
there's a nice one. The one with you in the with the full helmet on. That's
where
a
did
nice
you
one.
see
That's
that?
that.
Full helmet, full
Uh,
helmet.
it's the second column, second row. Now it's first row, last column. That one's kind of cool.
Oh, that's when this is when I'm doing rattan fighting. It's a bit different. Rattan fighting
Ah,
doesn't require a lot of the
uh,
stuff. This is what I wear under my
yeah.
armor when I'm doing this stuff. That
Hmm.
20 degrees is not cold, then you realize it took you a second. Yeah, that was Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. Yeah.
That was Fahrenheit.
I,
Yeah, no.
I must have mentioned when you said 20 at first. I'm like, huh? Oh.
Yeah, no, that's fair. My first time. Okay, I got to show this one. First time I
Oh,
ever touched
wow.
a real wolf, and yeah,
A real wolf.
that's a real
He's a
wolf.
big. That's a big boy.
Yeah, they walked by, and they usually don't let anyone touch the wolf because it's a wolf conservation place at one of the
Hmm.
not cons one of the fairs we were at. The wolf dove under my table to come meet me when I went hi, and they're like, "I've never seen that
Oh.
before," so I got to hang out with the wolf.
Got to hang out with a wolf.
Got to hang out with the wolf. It wanted to meet me. Animals like me though. They know I will never hurt them. It's a trust thing. There's me from behind. There's me. Okay.
Ah, yes. There you go.
Okay.
Those shields are heavy.
They're heavy as sin. This is when I had a hand and I was strong. This is me.
Yeah, no, because my son does some stuff, and usually the biggest he will take is a buckler because it's almost as effective, but not nearly as heavy.
Yep. This is me getting ready to go into fight. I was so, and that's my friend Lorna. That shield there had to retire after this one because it just got too beat up.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're
The
solid.
material's gone.
They're not metal shields. They're wood,
Yeah,
which is
no,
still
they're.
heavy. It is still heavy. Oh, and the best picture of me ever taken.
Oh, that's cute.
That is me as an elf.
Yeah,
Isn't that fun? So, but yeah, I don't know. I should have done this on stream a long time ago. Um,
yes.
do you guys know
Well,
Beyond
no,
the
no, it's nice if you
Boundary?
if you
Beyond.
don't do too many. It means you can do more later.
Okay, I'll stop after Beyond the
Oh,
Boundary.
Kyokai no Kanata. Yeah,
You actually know it.
yeah, yeah,
Most of the time I say Beyond the Boundary, nobody knows it, but this is me from that.
yeah, yeah.
So I
Yeah, she's the
love
blood.
that anime.
I shouldn't use the term bloodbender, but she's the
Yeah, Blood
uh
Mage, because like this is
blood mage.
yeah, this is she uses her own blood to kill monsters, so this is my attempt at that. I don't know if it worked, but that was my attempt at that. But yes,
No,
once
that
upon a
looks really
time
good.
I was a thin warrior person, but yeah, we can do more
And I see you
later.
once you're a Klingon, or is that not you?
Oh yeah, I always was a Klingon. I used to do Klingon security back in the day. That's not my actual uniform. My original uniform got destroyed. But yeah,
Ah,
I was a Klingon. I did security in the 90s. There's my Helsing. So you can see Sir Integra better, and these are my best friends.
mm.
So, And yeah, Robert, this is my friend Robert, and we made this.
That is a big ass gun.
Well, bitches love
Is,
cannons is
is that
literally
a
the
boglin? Yeah,
yes, that
it's a
was a
boglin.
boglin. You know a boglins. Oh my god. Can't believe you know what a boglin is. That's amazing. But we're gonna go back to the story. But you're right. That's something I can do during the chill streams is just go, hey, do you want to know more about my life and talk? I should do it just chatting sometime, but I don't know when.
Yes,
Game capture.
yes.
Game. There we
All right, we're
go.
back to the game, everyone. Thank you for the brief diversion. It was only 20 minutes, but still, it was fun.
God, I'm so sorry. Talking about me. Because there was a me once upon a time I was thin and muscly and I did stuff, and now there's this. I'm still
Well,
adjusting to the fact that life has to change.
sucks, but it is true.
But we're gonna go back to the story and his idiocy. At school, everything seemed normal, joyful, enthusiastic. Kayasaki, Michael with his book, Catherine was expressly ignoring my presence. Everyone seemed to have forgotten about my behavior yesterday, or were merely pretending to keep up appearances. In any case, I didn't feel like an exile. No more than usual. Yeah, that's true. I get to relive it. That's true, Zora. Thank you for understanding. I'm glad you got to see that, because a lot of people haven't. Sure, you like the
Honest,
intermission. Now you're gonna go
yeah,
read this on.
honest. I mean, it's funny. I mean, I actually find in some cases the best part of a lot of streams is the just chatting and getting to know each other, right?
Yeah, that's something we should do with every 3-minute break. I just go, okay, this is the story about Justy. Quick, you had great
Yeah, Zora,
timing.
you showed up just in time for the good for the intermission, the
The
segue,
intermission.
the.
The intermission. Oh, how long are we streaming today, Corlin?
So I want to be done myself at 11:30 because I have
Okay,
something else going on at noon.
that's fine. Because
Yeah,
I always have my guest star set the time. Because sometimes I stream for 2 hours, sometimes it's 2.5, sometimes it's 3. You just
yeah,
tell me when it's time to stop, and we stop. Because
yeah. I
me,
want a little break so I can have some lunch before my next
oh
thing.
no, that's completely fine. I'm just glad you were able to fill in. Not that anybody ever paid much attention to me.
Poor Vale's gonna miss out on the intermission.
Yeah, that's gonna kill her because she hasn't seen. I've talked about it to her, but she's never seen the pictures. I never thought to pull them up.
Here, I'll put a stream marker here, just so that you can find it later easily.
Okay, then I can show her. I had to admit I was a little scared of the derogatory looks and whispers behind my back on my way to school. But life went on as usual, not noticing me and my problems. He seems to think the world goes around him.
That's what most teenagers are like.
I have been spoiled by my children. That's all I have to say on that matter. During the second class, a note landed on my desk. Come to the roof at lunch. It was written in Japanese. The handwriting looked familiar, but it definitely wasn't Katya's. It's gonna be the class president. It's always the class president on the roof. I was even happy to receive the note since I was starting to get bored. So this is the thing too, huh? Now the absence of adrenaline equaled boredom to me.
At least he noticed.
Yeah. During the long break, I went to the roof, waving Kayasaki away as he offered to have lunch together. However, there was
Not too
nobody
late.
there. Apparently it was too early. Was what I thought as I sat on the bench preparing to wait for the author of the note. There she is! She's the one whose father has been kidnapped, for those of you that are new to the story.
Ah,
The door soon opened and Kagame jumped into the arms of the unfriendly autumn wind. Well, yeah, I should have expected that, I muttered.
what are you mumbling there?
Kagami asked in an intimidating tone, coming closer. I want to clarify something just in case. Did you write the note?
Yes.
She replied briefly and sat next to me. Right. I realized why the handwriting looked familiar to me. Kagami was the class rep and would constantly write things on the blackboard. We seem to be meeting each other a bit too often these days.
You're in no position to make jokes.
What else can I do?
You're in danger, don't you understand?
In danger?
I've managed to uncover something else. The father of your red-headed girlfriend worked for Japanese intelligence, and he may somehow related to my father's disappearance.
Everybody's figuring that part out, huh? God damn it, does everyone actually know more than I do about my own life? I exclaimed and flung my arms up in the air.
Doesn't seem like it's news to you.
She squinted her eyes, but I immediately asked a question. How did you learn that?
I have my own sources.
Kagami responded and Shirley turned away and shivered from the strong wind. Here. I stood up and took my jacket off and tried to put it over her shoulders.
What are you doing?
She immediately jumped up from the bench and ran a few feet away. Just trying to act like a gentleman, since you trust me. I mean, you've told me so much important information already. Kagami calmed down a bit, but didn't come closer.
It's because I still hope that you're a reasonable guy. Besides, we're in a similar situation, so I want to believe that you'll act reasonably. I have to say, though, that so far you've been as useful as a dug-up corpse. Look at that smirk on her face.
Yeah, the art is amazing. I'm glad you figured out how to do this style of shading, because it's so good. You missed the cry picture. It was gorgeous. Well, I'm sorry for not knowing anything else. And at this point, it's mostly the truth. Yeah, the sky is beautiful. Oh, that's why your name's Azora. That's wonderful. And why do you think I should blindly trust
for
you?
blue?
Azure is a color of blue. I bet you it's that.
Because I have no reason to lie to you. I'm just looking for my father.
I didn't reply, but her words made me feel guilty. After all, Kagami, despite her rather complicated personality, had opened up to me and relied on me to some extent. You're right. Sorry. Is there anything else you need to know? And how do you even know about Himitsu's father?
I've told you enough already, and you seem completely unsurprised by it.
I'm just tired of surprises. I smiled idiotically. But I would like to know more about your sources.
Tit for tat.
Raven says, completely unrelated. Coffee. Also, I'm using my Kevin mug. Bucket Hat Game approved. Oh my god,
Yeah.
Bucket Hat Game. That's from Goose Goose Duck for those of you that missed it. And I'm glad you're using your Kevin mug. There's 4 Kevin mugs in existence, and that she's got one of them. Blue skies.
I declare hydrate.
Oh, hydrate.
Where's the hydrate button in your redeems? Do you have such a thing?
Yep, it's the Twitch one, I think.
Oh, it's a Twitch one.
Yeah. It's a Twitch one.
But
Did you see it?
no, but that's fine.
I drink anyway. But yeah, it's yeah, my Twitch ones are hydrate, sit up straight, do neck. I think do neck.
Where is it? Yeah,
It was-
no. Actually, the stretch one, I know where that one is. That's a redeem.
Oh, it might be a redeem then. I don't know. You think I know how these things are done? I've been doing that's been a redeem for the last almost 4 years.
Do you think I know how this works? I'm only the streamer who set it all up.
I didn't set it up. Are you kidding me? I will fully admit, I'm not a tech person. My brain doesn't work that way because brain damage. So almost everything I've done is done by somebody.
Yeah, and the posture check, but I'm not finding the hydrate one. Interesting.
Raven, where's the hydrate button? Because I know Raven's pushed it. Insomnia is no bueno. I have weird insomnia. I fall asleep no problem, but I wake up at 3 a.m. every day, and I just read for like 3 hours, so I can't go to sleep. I don't understand it. But I think Raven knows where the hydrate button is. So I'm gonna hit this button.
I can probably find it, but I will.
I have nothing to offer in return. It's not like this is a card game. If you were me, wouldn't you want to know everything?
Are you sure it's easier to be you than me? No.
No, but that doesn't change anything.
Unlike you, I'm trying to do something. That's not wrong.
You named your
I've
server.
already told you everything I know, and how I found out isn't important.
Oh, that makes sense. Fell in love with Sky from the Sonic game. Sonic games did have good sky. Oh, Zora, speaking of good skies with clouds, if you go to my servers, I know you're in it, go to your pics. I took a picture of clouds that's really, really cool yesterday. I was lucky to get the shot. So, Raven, where did you find that?
I heard the bubble.
I did too, but where did you find it?
It's a sound alert. Oh, redeem sound alert. Oh, I see. It's a redeem then. Hold on. And it's 1,000?
Oh, geez. Oh my god, Rob, you just scared the crap out of me.
Hey, Rob.
No, it worked. He just doesn't know where to find it.
I found it.
He found it. Okay.
It's just that because the title's really long, it
That
disappeared off.
okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. My Hell Hydrate. I used to say Hell Hydrate every time I drank, but I
Hey,
stopped.
Hydrate, that's hilarious.
Because I have a GIF that's Hell Hydrate that a lot of people use where it says, "Hey, you hydrate." So,
Yeah.
but yeah, do take a look at the picture. I think you would like it. Cause but anyway, back to Kagame.
So I finished that line.
Okay.
Just for your information, a one-sided relationship like this can't last long.
Oh, so we have a relationship now?
Why are you such an asshole?
Yeah, Rob's
Thank you.
scared. He must be on his 15-minute break. Oh, you don't have to redo it. I already drank. He just wanted to know where to find it. He couldn't find the location. Kagami hissed, and I was left alone. I seem to remember that Himitsu once said I should change my attitude towards other people. You think? And even though I'd started to behave differently with her, and maybe to some extent with Catherine, others remained of as little interest to me as before. But
Because you are a butthole.
yeah, it could have become a useful ally. Next time, if there was a next time, I have to treat her with more respect. You think? Oh, here comes Michael. Came across Michael at the entrance to the classroom. He looked at me coldly, but said nothing.
Oh.
It's not like he had to say anything. No one would show it openly, but everyone except probably Kayasaki considered me a social pharaoh. And maybe I'd just become a persona non grata, since I've never really tried to change my caste, deeming it impossible. Thank you, Raven. There was absolutely no way I could keep being in their company. I quietly packed my bag and with my eyes lowered, walked out of the classroom. The bell reached me in the schoolyard, and deep inside I felt sad and for some reason even disgusted. You think? Maybe because you're a terrible person. I guess I'd never really given the thought to the fact that on weekday afternoons the streets were populated by totally different people than in the evenings. Children and teenagers were studying while adults were mostly at work. But pensioners of all ages, mothers with their strollers, all kinds of curios, delivery boys crawled out of their homes between 9 and 6 o'clock to enjoy the still warm autumn sun. Soon they would be replaced by office workers in their identical gray suits, children who couldn't wait to have some fun, and exhausted factory workers. But for now, Tokyo belonged fully to the nice, motley crowd. I slowed down to catch a few more smiles from strangers passing by. They had a calming effect on me. In the end, some people are capable of not only drowning in their problems, but also bringing some happiness to the world, sharing their good mood with others. Even in reality, things were very different. It was just a sign of politeness. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I came home, kicked off my boots, and walked into the kitchen. The TV was still on, showing a program for housewives. Household Secrets. Ooh, there we go. Yumitsu probably watched it often. Oh, we got a raid! Our Odyssey's coming in. Well, wait till they say something, because I tend to say something too soon and they don't hear me. Because, you know, some people are like me, they raid and then they have to find the person and see him again. So, but how? First I thought the ring of the doorbell was part of the show, but realized that wasn't the case and opened the door. Thank you for doing this shout out. Oh.
Ryonosuke was standing at my doorstep.
Yeah, thank you for doing that one, because that one, I did not expect him, but thank you for the raid, Odyssey. Physically fit, as focused as always, with a cold look in his eyes and abrupt military precise gestures. How come I never figured out he wasn't just a simple government employer? Oh, for you that don't know, this is Himatsu's father.
Whoops.
The wrong button. Greeted him briefly and slightly lowered my head.
May I come in?
Sure. What? Walked him to the kitchen and offered a chair.
Nikarai, I respect you, so I'm not going to pretend or put on an act here. I think you've long realized what's going on. You've become very interesting to the KGB lately.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is KGB. No, this is your dad.
This is her dad.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
I froze in place. I hope you didn't know I had eavesdropped on him in the village.
I'm not aware how much you know, but it is in your best interest to tell me everything here and now.
What I know? I said quietly. So this is the person I've known half my life. Not only had he lying objectively to my parents to be for so many years, he also managed to drag his own daughter into this. Oh, I know enough. Let me tell you a story. About a nice neighbor who pretends to be a family friend, about how he's willing without hesitation to betray anyone on command. Yes, we got a raid! For him, the end justifies any means, and there are no moral boundaries. He'll even use his own daughter to accomplish his goals. Any means, right, Ranaki-san? Am I right? I snapped, but I couldn't feel any particular danger coming from him. I was at least to a degree confident he hadn't come to kill me. Well, yeah.
That's your point of view. You are entitled to it, but there are many others. However, Nikolai, you should calm down. That would be better for everyone.
Sounds like his daughter. His impenetrable seriousness is more frightening than all of Irena's words combined. Is that a threat?
For now, it's a warning. I hope I'm not mistaken about you, and I won't need to deploy methods that are more appropriate for stupid scum.
His arrogance stung. There was something of a Japanese militarism to him. And still, I was scared. I simply couldn't hide it.
Nikolai, I want to help you, no matter how crazy that may sound to you. I have helped you before over many years. I've been doing things that go beyond the scope of my responsibilities. And even things that violate direct orders. Oops, he looks a little... I should have said that quieter.
Yeah, he had a quieter voice.
I have done things you haven't a clue about.
Things. Tell. Are you talking about my parents?
Right, sorry, yeah.
It's okay. I smirked.
Believe me, I have nothing to do with what happened to them.
Of course you don't.
I realize that you have no reason to trust me, but this is a dangerous game you're playing, albeit against your will. You must have realized already that there are many players in this game, so I will once again say I have nothing to do with your parents' death.
Priest's father seemed to speak generally, but I caught myself thinking that during the entire conversation, his facial expression had barely changed. Doesn't matter what I think, right? Then why did you come here at all? Finally knit his brows and said quietly,
I need to know everything you know. I mean, that's straightforward at least.
if I knew something, I'd gladly tell you. My word, I'm so fucking fed up with your game. I slapped my neck with my palm, showing how fed up I was exactly. So if I had a chance to do something that would make you all leave me be.
I believe you, Nikolai.
And
Surprising.
suddenly smiled. And that's it?
Yes. Is there anything else you want to discuss?
I would say, yeah. What about this? What did you do against orders? Yeah, tell me.
He wouldn't tell.
Yeah. What happens now?
To you? I don't know. However, you must realize that after everything that's happened, you better keep away from my daughter.
Ooh. How but... I mumbled impotently.
Be well.
Renuxon stood up and left. When the door closed behind him, I sank exhaustedly to the chair. Of course, argue with him would have been pointless and risky. Besides, what could I say? It's not like Himitsu wanted to see me. But that was only for now. In the end, she'd definitely come. I don't think she will, dude. Wouldn't she? I don't think so. And what did he mean by I don't know? I don't think she will. I think she's fed up with him. That I didn't have to fear Japanese intelligence anymore?
People are funny.
Or that everything was over for me? No. If that were the case, he wouldn't have warned me about Himitsu. I was shattered and crushed and, most importantly, humiliated. For the first time, Irina could threaten me all she wanted, but she didn't have any aces up her sleeve. Renexo had Himitsu, and he played his card brilliantly, breaking my will and bringing me to my knees in a couple of minutes. If I had anything to tell them, I would have done it immediately, without hesitation. Did you notice? It didn't seem like they were really interested in him. My conversation with Irina or Kagame? They were in the end not very informative, and I didn't know anything except that. But why? Why was it so easy? The answer to this question was becoming more and more obvious. I couldn't stay home alone now.
If something happens, you know where to find me.
Don't go to Catherine. Catherine is not good for you.
Mm,
And there I was
in this case,
dialing that cherished number again.
she might actually be.
It was quite early, but maybe she was at home. After a few beeps, somebody eventually responded.
Hello?
Me. Catherine didn't reply. Yeah, tension rising big time. You already back from school? And so silence again. What was I trying to achieve by stating facts? I summoned all my courage and said, "You said that I would know where to find you. I guess I have."
In the park in an hour.
Thatcher replied briefly and hung up. Everything seemed to have worked maybe too easily. Despite my efforts, I didn't manage to arrive before Catherine. I still want to go to this park. I wish it was real. It's beautiful.
That's pretty.
She was already waiting for me here. Her house was much closer to the park.
Catch your breath first.
He smiled condescendingly and pointed at a bench. We sat down.
Not a day passed.
Sorry if I distract you from something important.
I always have time for you.
Dad from Lucy. I'm not familiar with Lucy.
I Love Lucy, or
Now we're dating ourselves. I know that show.
besides, it's clear something happened.
I called Catherine. I hadn't figured out what was going on to tell her. It was just a whim and a lack of other options. I looked at her with a plea in my eyes as if hoping that she'd guess it all herself and I wouldn't have to lie or worse, tell her everything in detail.
Himitsu?
Yes, we had a fight. Not that it's the first time, but this time it's serious.
You talked to her after everything I've told you? Although you already knew?
Yeah. Unlike Himitsu, I hadn't promised not to lie to Catherine, and she didn't have to know what Renakise-san had told me. My life doesn't change much.
That's for sure, but why am I here?
I had even less desire to say that I just felt lonely and that Kiyosaki wouldn't have made for good company here. Although even if I had a choice, would I have called someone else? I just don't want to be alone.
You get used to it. It's not quick and easy, but eventually you'd get used to it.
Caught a yellow leaf fly in the air intently as if studying and spun in her fingers.
I have a lot of experience in terms of loneliness.
Gotcha,
You're unteachable. How many times I asked you not to call me Katya?
You never meant it.
See, that's your problem. You always think everything in life is a game.
I don't think anything like that. And even if it is a game, it's not one you can win.
Although I'm glad you called, didn't think it would happen so soon.
She didn't doubt I'd call at some point?
And I'm glad you finally realized what she is.
I replied nothing and lowered my head in order to avoid looking her in the eye. No, I partially agreed with Catherine's opinion on Himitsu, but there was still nothing I could do. Even if she hadn't known about her father's real job, even if she hadn't wanted to betray me or hide anything, all of this had happened already, and nothing could change the fact that she had been lying to me, even if not for long. Meanwhile, he's lied to her almost every day. I can understand why Himitsu treats you like she does, but what has she done to you? Catherine grew embarrassed and immediately tensed up.
Isn't what she's done to you enough? Even if we're not together anymore, it doesn't mean that.
She licked her tongue and raised her voice even more.
It's a pity that you don't realize it yourself.
But I did. I understood that Himitsu was dedicating herself wholeheartedly to me, yet I couldn't forgive her for a single stupid mistake. And neither could I forget about the skeletons in her closet. If not hers, then her father's. The plates of the scales were swaying back and forth. And then there was Catherine's intentions I hadn't understood at all for a while now. Sometimes I feel ashamed for being so spineless.
You have your circumstances.
You said as much too.
Maybe I have.
Catherine smiled sadly, torturing the poor leaf. Winter's coming. You like winter. That's your surname.
You know, I feel the same about all 4 seasons.
What about Christmas, New Year's? What would you like to get as a gift from Santa Claus?
A one-way ticket away from here.
I identify with that statement right now. One ticket? Catherine tilted her eyes flashed.
Do you want to talk about this now?
What about the destination? Isn't that important? Try to smooth out the awkwardness.
To the moon.
We were sitting there talking about nothing. That was exactly what I needed. So you're going to be the first person on the moon? Wait, this is 1987. There's already been a person on the moon. Nikolai, do you not go to school and learn history?
Hey!
Catherine gently nudged me in the side. Well, everyone knows Stanley Kubrick faked the Apollo landing. Oh my god, did he just say that? Okay.
Apparently so. Are you asking for another Caribbean crisis? This time with the missiles will be at your coast. Wow.
Knowing the Japanese, I wouldn't be surprised.
This is all bad, isn't it?
Of course it is. I look at you and Himitsu, I see no differences. Borders, nations.
Maybe that's the case in a perfect world, but I prefer to have no differences somewhere far from here.
Have you ever read Heinlein?
No? Why?
Nothing, I just think you like his books. I have to agree with him on that one. I think she would.
Your whole world is science fiction, except there's no science in it.
Himitsu told me almost the same once. I've heard that somewhere before.
See?
What about you? You don't even have hobbies.
Not for lack of desire.
She replied, offended by my words. What do you mean?
When you need to move all the time, I never told you. Even in the US, we kept moving around the country every couple of months.
Oh, that's hard, kid.
That is hard. It's like I'm 7 years old and can't be left alone, or at least with my grandma.
I didn't know.
Good that you didn't. There's nothing interesting about that.
Catherine stood up, smiled way too nicely, and gave me a hand.
Let's go. I'm cold.
Where?
I'd like to eat something. You?
And do. Cafe?
Let's go to your place.
No! Why is she being so... Oh my god. Kitty's gonna disappear for a second. But I have nothing to eat at home. Should we order something? I replied after a short pause. Why all of a sudden?
I'll cook. We just need to drop by a store on the way.
Alright, let's go. This is not good. Oh, here comes introspection. Catherine spent a long time meticulously choosing groceries. I would sometimes go shopping with Himitsu and always thought of it as routine, but now I was in awe. Catherine and I had known each other for a while, but what had we been doing usually? Yeah, that. And other dumb stuff that couples in love always do. Even now, little changed, we were fighting and scolding each other, a rather trivial thing to do for two people who had feelings for each other. My relationships with Catherine and Himitsu were as different from each other as a melodrama about school love and a family sitcom. Besides, mere infatuation isn't enough. A real strong bond is formed through everyday, mundane moments. That is actually true. And it seemed as normal to me to do this with Himitsu as it felt new with Catherine. However, there was something else. At first, all this daily stuff with a person you love creates a misleading feeling of intimacy. That's when you start to imagine you are like a family now and will never leave each other. Hopefully, the other person is of the same opinion. Then any unexpected issues will be unexpected for both of you. However, if that isn't the case, the first problem you run into will become a long-awaited excuse for them. Kachi wanted to take some lettuce, while I had a preference for Chinese cabbage. Did it really matter? In order to avoid any disputes, I relented immediately, but it made me think. I think this is a mistake. That's what I think this is. It was almost evening when we reached home. I don't mean to imply anything, but isn't this a bit much? I demonstrated and raised the bags of my hands that were indeed quite heavy. Luckily, Catherine flatly refused to take my money and paid for everything. I wasn't even sure if I had enough for all that.
Are you unhappy about something?
It just feels like you're going to cook for a whole regiment.
Maybe I am.
She smiled mysteriously and entered the yard. While Catherine was cooking, I sat down in front of the TV and started to think.
Excuse me.
I could hardly expect Himitsu to visit, but if she did, it would be quite difficult to explain all this to her. You think? This sense of
Yeah, but she's
intimacy
not
with
going to visit her. Her dad told them to stay away. So
this sense of intimacy with Katya was growing stronger, as if that's exactly what she was trying to accomplish. Look, thank you, really. Catherine stopped cooking and looked at me confused. I really need some support right now, and someone close around, I wanted to add, but held myself back.
happy to help.
No, I'm serious.
Well, so am I.
Dinner was surprisingly delicious. Hamburgers and french fries. Homemade. You know, I don't eat this stuff often. Fast food is one thing, but it can't compare to this.
I guess it'll add at least some variety to your menu then.
She was clearly hinting at Himitsu's cooking, but I didn't reply, busy consuming the burger. To be frank, I was quite skeptical when you said you could cook.
But yesterday's breakfast.
Well, sometimes even pigs fly. Ooh, that's an... Catherine frowned. Yeah.
That's not nice, you know.
And I thought that it sounded quite like her and in the spirit of our recent conversations. Sorry.
Luckily for you, you won't have to eat it all at the time. Eat it all the time. I think Himitsu will soon.
I didn't finish the phrase and suddenly quickly looked at the clock. Late for something?
I need to call my mom.
Question why was on the tip of my tongue, but I restrained myself. Go ahead, you know where the phone is. Catherine talked quietly. I wasn't really trying to listen. At the moment, I was more concerned with how to act with her going forward.
Sorry that took so long.
It was maybe a couple of minutes. No worries. She looked a bit anxious. Is everything all right?
Stupid question. Why do people always ask it? And most importantly, what answer do you expect to hear?
I know what you mean. Gets to me too. Just a habit. Smiled apologetically.
Let me wash the dishes.
Started to hectically? I don't know that word.
Hectically.
That's what hectically looks like?
Yep.
Okay. Collect the dishes from the table. Well, okay. I returned to the TV and Catherine started to wash the dishes, doing it very slowly, deliberately slowly.
What's on TV?
Eventually she finishes that next to me. Dangerously close. Just some garbage. But Katya was a rather straightforward girl and usually preferred to talk directly rather than trouble herself with hints. I, on the other hand, knew that in such a situation I was fully at her mercy, if she moved any closer. I'll be right back. I stood and walked out of the kitchen without looking back. If not for Yumitsu, how would I be acting right now if we hadn't fought? And what would I have done a week or two ago? Apparently I wouldn't have had any qualms of conscience, and that was exactly what was stopping me at this moment. What do we really fear the most? To be caught with a lover in bed, or that our own sense of guilt will always be there, making itself known when we look in the eyes of the person we love? Ooh, that's some deep stuff right there. Excuse me. The funniest thing is I felt guilty towards Himitsu, even though we formerly weren't in any kind of relationship. And now she wasn't talking to me at all. My dignity rebuilt at last. Stopped by the toilet for show, then immediately returned to the TV. There was some sort of animal show on the screen.
I don't understand anything. Not a word.
Katya said, merrily staring at the screen. What do you mean?
Well, they use special terms, names.
Well, yeah, I guess you don't know them in English either. Little bird with a giant red cap was sitting on a bench looking important.
Maybe.
It's quite late already.
For what?
Shouldn't you go home?
No.
Catherine turned to me and smiled meaningfully.
Are you kicking me out?
It's just that your hints...
I'm not trying to hint at anything. Can you make me a bed in this room? I've already warned my mom.
So that's why she was calling her mother. Why did it take me until now to notice that she was in her school uniform? Katya, what is this all about?
I'm just tired and I feel too lazy to go home. No more than that. It's just you seeing hidden meanings in everything.
Looked at the clock, it wasn't that late. This is not a game or joke of yours.
If I wanted something, I would have told you.
Yeah, she was right about that. Well, it's your call. He should not let her spend the night. Dude, no. I was lying in my bed and couldn't close my eyes, mostly because of the fact that Catherine was sleeping in the other room. Or was she? She could easily come in the middle of the night and lie next to me. She'd get cold, or scared,
Her scared?
or lonely. She wouldn't find a reason, come up with an excuse, and in the morning I would end up and be the one to blame anyway. Well, if you don't trust her, why didn't you kick her out? Being more than that, I was terrified by my own desires. Would have never called myself a masochist, but in our relationship, she definitely was the sadist. The silence of the night felt oppressive. I walked through the house trying to avoid the kitchen and closed all the doors from the inside. God spare me if Himitsu decided to come in the morning. Having locked and deadbolted all the doors, I finally managed to fall asleep. If you're worried about your girlfriend finding out there's a girl sleeping in your kitchen, you shouldn't let the girl sleep in your kitchen.
Not his girlfriend.
Ah,
Not his girlfriend.
but it's so close, Corliss.
Not his girlfriend.
Ah, anything that
And here
can go
comes
wrong will go
will
wrong.
go wrong.
Murphy's Law. I don't think in my circumstances the wording was that important, but I still wouldn't say that something just went wrong that morning. Oh no. That'd be quite an understatement. Oh no. I'm tempted to save right here so we don't find out and let you have an extra half hour, but I gotta know. We'll go till 11:30. I woke up by shouting in the kitchen. I jumped up and dashed to the source of the noise with only my underpants on. Oh, Christ. Ah, no. Kathy and Mitsu were standing in the middle of the room and going at each other at max volume.
You could at least put some clothes on.
Katya smirked. Oh yeah, sorry. I replied automatically and returned to my bedroom.
Nico-kun.
Himitsu's angry voice reached me. I quickly put on my shirt and pants and returned to the battlefield.
Nico-kun, what's she doing here? Early in the morning, too. Why are you here?
Nothing really.
You don't have to make excuses to her. I'll show you excuses.
Oh no. Oh, this picture. Zora would like this one. Oh, look, he's restraining her in the picture. You see that?
That's kind of a hot pic. You should take a screen capture.
Not good at that. Himitsu was about to throw herself at Catherine. I had to grab her by the arms.
It's your own fault. Nico-kun, let me go.
I will when you calm down.
How can I calm down when she...
Oh, she thinks they did something, but they didn't. Himitsu was choking her own fury. It was scaring me. I couldn't remember ever seeing her like this.
Still smiling, bitch?
She kept trying to break free, baring her teeth at Catherine like an animal.
How does it feel to be such an unfeeling piece of shit, huh? No idea. How does it? You take what you haven't earned, what you don't deserve.
Sunshine, that's enough.
Don't call me that.
Himitsu choked on her anger.
Nico, tell me this one thing. Did you two fuck? What if we did? I'm not talking to you.
No, we didn't. My voice was trembling. I couldn't understand why. After all, I was telling the truth. Catherine kept smirking. My uncertainty seemed to entertain her even more.
Nico, stop lying.
I'm not. I finally declared with confidence, but even if nothing happened between Catherine and me, was Himitsu going to believe it? And what was I supposed to do? And this is why I should have kicked her out, you idiot. I decided I wasn't going to spy on her father, and he had stated clearly yesterday he didn't want to see Himitsu around me. Yes, lots of people, Relances. Hi.
Hey, Rel. Nico, I came here just for you, even after my dad warned me not to talk to you anymore.
Exactly. She couldn't just throw me out of her life and so would keep sinking ever deeper into my problems and jeopardize herself more and more.
I hoped that we would talk and make up, that you would understand.
She stopped fighting.
Hoyo!
She stopped fighting me, but she was still breathing heavily.
But as soon as I left you alone, you immediately ran to her. So that's what all your promises and words of love are worth. Words of love?
Catherine looked as if she were in the audience at a comedy show.
Has he gotten better at phrasing those in the past couple of years, I wonder? Shut up, bitch. It's all because of you. If you were never in our lives... But I am, in his life. And moreover, I never lied to Nick.
See that.
You...
She burst into deep sobs and I finally released her. Now overwhelmed by emotion, she might do something stupid and harm not only me, but also herself. For example, she could tell her father something she shouldn't. So it would be better if we didn't communicate any longer. Himitsu, you need to calm down. Go home. I said quietly. That's not the answer, dude.
What? Me? Home? What about her?
Go home, Himitsu. He should send her home, too. I repeated as quietly as before.
Nico,
he's breaking her heart. She's the one he should be with. She pleaded, but I just kept staring at the floor without saying a word.
So, that's how it is.
She burst into tears and ran away.
If you need my opinion, I'd say you did the right thing.
How exactly did she come in if I locked all the doors from inside at night?
I opened the door for her.
Catherine replied calmly. A lump of burning resentment swelled in my throat.
So you said, oh, it's you.
Yeah, so you set the whole thing up? I said through clenched teeth.
Even if I did, what does it change?
Kick her out. Catherine frowned and gave me a serious look.
Oh, come on. Before you unleash your righteous wrath, let me tell you something about your innocent Himitsu. At the time, I found it hard to tell you everything right away, so I decided to ask for her advice first.
Heather pursed her lips and looked away.
If I only knew she was such a... whatever.
She pulled herself together and continued.
Mom had told me that we had to leave, and of course I was glad, even happy, except there was you.
My heart started to beat faster.
I just didn't have a choice, understand? Even if I wanted to stay. I simply needed to tell you everything, but you know, I'm not good at this type of stuff. So I had wanted to discuss it with her, with the person you know best. And what did I get in return?
Well, what?
Don't act like you don't understand.
You started this. Be so kind to see it to the end.
That's what she was waiting for. If I hadn't left that time, she would have found another excuse.
So all of this is your revenge? Kachi turned to me abruptly, made me feel guilty with a single look.
He doesn't deserve the honor. I just wanted to show you her real face.
I hadn't expected such frankness from Catherine, especially after such a long time. But at the same time, I still couldn't figure out what Himitsu had said to her. I understand that you don't have the best relationship with her. Maybe things weren't great back then either, but you would have expected this kind of reaction. Just because you're also a girl and know all this on a much more sophisticated level than me. So you really... Oh, sorry.
So you really don't understand?
Apparently not.
Yeah, of course. What did I even expect?
I don't know what you're getting at, but it doesn't excuse you in the slightest. Our relationship is worse than ever anyway. I should have known. I grasped my head and thrashed back and forth. Leave, please.
Now you're kicking me out too?
Good. Just leave. Didn't raise my voice, but it was enough for Catherine. She slowly walked to the hall and closed the front door behind her, demonstratingly slowly. Well, now he has no girls, which might be
it's probably better
for
than
him.
where he was. Yeah, I was going to say, considering all the shenanigans going on, yeah, he's probably better off that way.
Still can't believe that fight scene picture. Wow. I don't know what it feels like being on a desert island, but I think in a way it'd be easier than being a social outcast. At least the islander knows that people ignore him not for their own reason, because there just isn't anyone around for hundreds or even thousands of kilometers. Who feels more hungry, the person in a prison cell or the person forced to observe a luxurious banquet? I don't think I was really upset with Catherine. Surprised, disappointed, but not upset. Unfortunately,
Ad
something
break
like that.
in 90 seconds.
Okay. Unfortunately, something like this would be disrespect of her, and by doing so, she was pushing the love for that Katia further and further out of my heart. And I was just too tired. However, her words still rang clear in my mind. What exactly had happened between them back then? Catherine wouldn't get mad over nothing, and if she hated Himitsu that much, was Katia even capable of genuine hatred? And what had to have happened
Probably.
to evoke such a strong, faithful immersion in her? She just couldn't imagine Himitsu doing something worthy of it. While thinking about all this, I didn't even notice how I got to school by the time the second class started. In reality, I had absolutely no reason to be here, but it wasn't any worse than any other place. And this wasn't even about Irina. Did her threats really matter after my talk with Himitsu's father? And what really did matter? What did I have left in my life? Naturally, Catherine wasn't at school. I wasn't surprised if Himitsu's classes as well. I was sitting looking out the window, unplugged from the rest of the world. The strong autumn wind was mercilessly shaking the trees in the schoolyard, but with the last bits of strength they resisted, not giving up their red and yellow foliage to it. Wouldn't last long, however. By nature's will, they would become naked and helpless before the first frost and the coming cold. But the wind didn't need those old leaves blowing its destiny. It can't exist otherwise. Perhaps Catherine's destiny was to wreck my life? Here comes Michael. Michael approached me during a break. God, again? It was hard to guess from his facial expression what he was going to talk about, but I got preliminary tense. Let's just not go over the
Okay.
same thing again.
Ads are up.
We keep going. We only have, because we're not doing the full hour.
I just thought that you'd had some time to think.
His persistence was enviable, but now in particular this behavior was frankly inappropriate, at least not here for everyone to see. Or was he deliberately trying to make me mad? I already thought it through and told you everything we discussed only a couple of days ago.
Yes, but I still haven't gotten a clear answer from you.
It's not angry. A clear answer. I smirked and flung my hand in the air. The usual level of noise in the classroom became noticeably lower. Do you want a piece of advice? I give you one free for today. Run away from her without looking back, otherwise she'll ruin your life same as she ruined mine. I was stepping on the same rake again. Not only was Michael listening to me, but the entire class. Except I couldn't care less.
Shall I take that as an affirmative answer?
Are we doing math here? Affirmative, negative? What's the fucking difference? You know what? If you need her so much, take her. I said and quickly walked out of the classroom. The nastiest thing was, and I scolded myself for it without end, is that I couldn't even really get mad at Catherine. Even though I had every right to. Any normal person would. Good afternoon, senpai.
Oh, high schooler. Good afternoon, senpai.
Someone from a junior grade greeted me politely. Why would someone... Yeah. How do you know me and why would you talk to me at all? Did everyone in the school know that Nikolai Anakin was a dangerous sociopath? I passed by Humis's classroom, looked inside for a moment, but there was no one behind her desk. Fair enough. Afraid of running into Saichan, I quickly ran up the stairs, taking them two at a time, as could be expected, and found myself on the roof. Somebody was sitting on a bench, and I was about to think it was Kagame, but it wasn't her. The girl was holding back her long blonde hair as it fluttered in the wind like a ship's sail in Alexander Grimm's novel. Oh, isn't this like the mayor's... I think this is the mayor's daughter that's a secret rock star.
I don't know this person. Oh, maybe I do.
Yep,
Yes.
this is a secret rock star. I recognized Ellie, but even though I couldn't see her face, I thought she seemed sad, looking in the distance at the massive city from the school's roof like you look into the horizon of the ocean expecting the return of a beloved. No, she's the head of the corporation's daughter. That also is a secret rock star.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if she had a boyfriend. I drove these foolish thoughts away and approached the uncrowned queen of the school. Hi, I hope I'm not intruding. She raised her head and looked at me, surprised.
Hoodlum-kun?
Kobayashi-san? I put a semblance of sarcastic smirk on my face. Actually, my name is Nick.
I see.
Ellie looked upset and was behaving far less energetically than usual. Sorry if I'm prying. Did something happen?
Nothing important. Just some family problems.
Ah, I understand. Actually, no, I don't. Because he doesn't have any family. Ah, yes, happy Women's Day. Oh, I forgot. It's International Women's Day. Thank you, Relancis.
Oh yeah, that's right. Today is it's the 8th of March.
I forgot it's International Women's Day. Happy Women's Day to any female listening. I added immediately and sat down next to her. Keep a distance allowed by decency. I'm alone. I live alone.
Is that so?
She clearly wasn't in the mood for a chat. By the way, I was at your concert. You play really well. Finally, Ellie brightened up and cast a glance in my direction.
Yeah, right. I saw you. You were staring at me the entire concert. You wouldn't let me play.
I was there by accident. I just swing by that club on occasion.
I love this music.
Yes.
And what a lucky coincidence that we were playing there at that time.
Yes, it was. Just a coincidence. I'll have you know it happens. Everything in the world revolves around you and your family. Last part was clearly too much, and Ellie smiled sadly and looked away.
Yeah, sure, you're right. It's just, you know.
She stared, but sighed heavily and went silent.
No, you don't.
Explain then.
Here we go again. Sorry, but I really don't feel like it. How many times can I explain the same thing? Would talking really change anything?
Interesting observation. I was constantly boiling in a cauldron filled with painful, introspective, regular fights with Himitu and Catherine. Well, you have your music to distract you.
Yeah, for now.
I think you should keep doing it. You clearly have a talent. I was staring at the vapor trail left by a plane and added wistfully. You know, I even envy you in a sense, not because of all this school queen and Harris of the Kobayashi Empire stuff, because you have something of your own. Something that you do well and something you want to pursue, a calling, I guess, a life goal. I'm not really good at saying this stuff, sorry. Finally looked at Ellie and she lowered her head and blushed a bit.
Everything sounds so easy if I just listen to you.
I don't know if it's easy or not. I'm just judging your situation from the perspective of a layperson, so to say, who has nothing like that in his life.
Maybe that's for the better.
Ellie jumped off the bed, shaking her head, golden hair flying side to side, the faint smell of perfume reaching my nose. It took considerable effort to hide my embarrassment from this girl.
Well, okay, hoodlum Nick-kun. See you later.
Bye. I responded timidly and remained in my place. Didn't know whether Kobayashi-san had a real crown, but once, a long time ago, I'd given one to a little girl, a neighbor of mine. Couldn't use the fact that the school year in Japan starts in the spring. In graduating from primary school at the embassy, I went to a normal secondary school with normal children. Maybe a bit of an elite one. From childhood, Misu wanted to be in the same class as me, but her poor health hadn't allowed that. But we still ended up in the same school. She was just a grade lower. She then skipped spring and summer semesters due to illness and managed to go to school with me only in autumn. Must have been the end of September as well.
Drink up. Cluck, cluck, cluck.
Got a glug, glug, glug.
It's a flashback.
We get to see what our character looked like younger. Look at this.
Uh-huh. Nichan.
Miso was pulling at my sleeve. I asked you not to call me that anymore, especially at school, I said sternly.
Okay.
She replied sadly and lowered her head. We're adults now, at least I am. So what? Oh, sorry.
So what should I call you then?
I don't know. I thought for a second. This question was an important one for a child. I have a classmate, Kayasoki. I'll introduce you. He calls me Nick.
Nico.
Misu uttered in the Japanese style. No way, that sounds like the name of a mafia boss. Don Nico. You'll come to me with a request, but you don't ask with respect. You don't even think to use Kigo. Kaigo? I don't know.
Kaigo?
Misu laughed even harder.
Nico dano.
Oh, no need to be that formal. I even grew a bit embarrassed.
Then...
The stress of the heavy thinking found reflection on her childless face.
Nico-kun?
She suggested timidly. I paused. Should do for now.
Well, then you should call me something like something like that. Oh, Himitsu-sama!
I listened and obey, my mistress Omisa-sama. Approaching the school, and more I noticed Yumitsu's little shoulders tremble. She was clearly very nervous, but was trying not to show it. A yellow leaf fell at my feet, then another one and another. I started to pick them up.
By the way, Himitsu, basically, means she's royalty.
Oh, jeez.
And the sama, of course, is very, very formal, too. Nikko-kun?
She said slowly as if she was trying to taste this new word.
What are you doing?
You'll see soon. When I gathered enough leaves, I took a fishing line out of my bag and began to string the leaves on it. You can find anything in a little rascal's bag, and sometimes things weirder than a fishing line. When I finished, the resulting composition would mostly resemble a washing line with colorful rags on it. Every princess should have a crown. Oh, that's so sweet. Barely managed to mount this little something on Himitsu's head. The leaves stubbornly refused to stand vertically, and following the laws of physics, were falling and draping over her head. At the end, Himitsu resembled a bald old man with hair only remaining on her temple, nape, and also forehead.
Oh, it's so cute.
Himitsu sang, opened her bag, and took a little mirror out of it. Are you sure you want to see this? I said in a theatrically serious voice, and slowly took a few steps aside. She looked at herself in the mirror attentively and smiled. Smiled so cutely that for a moment it seemed like that crown was made of leaves shone with all the colors of the golden autumn. I got embarrassed, and not because I was seeing a beautiful girl, which had happened to me before, because the girl suddenly turned out to be Himitsu. Alright, let's go. I habitually took her by the hand and quickly walked to the school.
Nikko-kun?
She called to me in a more confident voice. And if someone asks, you'll say that you're my sister. Got it? My juvenile maxim was still there, after all.
Nikko-kun?
And we have different surnames because you were adopted. Or I was, whatever. And that's why we don't look alike. Yeah, kids do this.
Nikko-kun?
But that's only if someone asks. Otherwise, we don't even know each other at all. And you're a grade lower than me. And if you ask me, I don't understand all this division at all.
Ni-chan!
Yuichi said loudly at last. What? She pointedly looked at our latched hands. Ah, yeah. Happy International Women's Day, Raven. As she released her hand and felt blood rush to my face. It's just a habit that we should ditch too.
You're taking this so seriously.
She giggled. It's because it's vital to start off on the right foot.
Understood.
Yuichi said solemnly and pouted. And take this mess off your head already. She carefully removed the crown and put it in her bag. You could just throw it away, I muttered.
Why? It'll be a reminder that I'm a princess and you're my prince.
Are you starting this again? I pinched her side hard.
Ow!
Nick? Oh, sorry, that's Kayasaki.
Kiyosaki, yeah.
So he knew him that long, too. Kayasaki married greeting reaches from afar. All right, here comes. Memory over. The crown must have long dried out and turned to dust, although I was sure he must have kept it somewhere in a wardrobe for a long time after. It can sometimes seem that entire segments of life, hours, days, years, are erased from memory, but if you really try, you can always recall them. I sat on the roof for about an hour, reminiscing. Or perhaps that's merely how it seemed to me, because the hour hand was stubbornly approaching 2 o'clock in the afternoon. My stomach growled, and I returned to sinful earth, now with more than just my thoughts. It was too late to go to the canteen. Unfortunately, my funds were quite limited, so I returned to the classroom, quickly packed my bag, ignoring Kayasaki, and left school. On the way home, I was thinking about Mai and Himitsu's childhood. She probably wasn't a real fairy tale princess to me. It felt more like being Peter Pan and her Wendy. Wendy returned to the real world. I forever remained in Neverland, where children don't grow up. Lost and thought I was almost run over by a car.
Oh, you were about to get isekai'd.
The old empty house welcomed me coldly as usual, with silence broken only by the crease of floorboard, dust dancing in the sunlight that reached the kitchen from the garden, and by now familiar atmosphere of loneliness. I didn't expect Himitsu to come today. I didn't hope for a tasty cooking, but I was starving, having not had lunch or even breakfast. I guess he's gonna learn to cook. Luckily, there's a lot left after Catherine's visit. Oh, I guess he doesn't have to. The bartender would call the thing I cooked kolia stew or kolia chowder, as the abundance of soy sauce made the dish pretty watery. Not that I cared, at least it
Ugh.
was edible. Yeah, sounds gross, doesn't it? After washing dishes,
Ugh.
I turned the TV on and pointlessly stared at the screen. All my thoughts were focused on Himitsu. Seemed to have forgotten Catherine completely, and when I did remember her, I felt disgust. I didn't know what she blamed Himitsu for. But he used to have full right to blame her for the situation we found ourselves in. I recalled more and more memories of her childhood and the events that happened relatively recently. I replayed those memories in my mind fondly, studying each of them for a good while, then going to the next. I guess that's how production just rotated the handles of the projectors, carefully not to damage the film. But then the movies would come to an end and give way to harsh reality. In the silence of the house, I could clearly hear a car drive into Himitsu's yard. Ryan-san seemed to have come home early. Actually, it was none of my business. Not anymore. I felt a lump in my throat. Too much connected us for our relationship to be completely broken in a single moment, even for a good reason. And it wasn't the only fact that we grew up together that Himitsu loved me. Not only the serious matters, the little things that made up our daily life were equally important. Even the fights and grievances, the tears and sorrow, the diseases, the hardships. It was important that we had gone through all that together hand in hand.